Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Surgery. High drive, deep left field. That is back, and back goes Happ, looking up, and that ball is gone. It's out of Wrigley Field. Fernando goes yard and then some.
Colson Montgomery, back it goes. Get out. That one onto Utah Street.
2. Locked him up. And Gabe Cavalli said something to Wilson Contreras. Here we go. Benches are clearing. Yeah. Wilson Contreras hit a 3-run homer last night and chucked his bat, and now he wants to throw his helmet at Gabe Cavalli.
Sure what I can throw now to get him out.
That ball's doused to left field. That's way back here and gone. Torque bomb icing on the cake for nothing.
High, deep, to right field, all the way back and gone! Put 4 on the board for 44. The Astros lead this game 6-3.
And with that, we welcome you into the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. AM 1310, WDPN. 95 degrees in Alliance, Ohio right now. Heat index is well over 100. Please be careful if you're out today. Light clothing. Keep yourself hydrated. Probably try to stay in the air conditioning. If you've got a pool to go to, that would be a good spot. If you're hanging around in the man cave today, even if you're out on the patio today, make sure you've got an umbrella and maybe a cooler out there, because it's hot. I just came back in a little bit ago, and it feels everything of 105. So just be careful if you're out and about today, and we'll get through her. We always do. All right, so the LeBron watch continues. Guardians are in action as we speak against the Rangers. We'll update you there. We have Sammy B's best bet today at 4:29 on this day in sports history. At 5:29, we've got our poll question of the day. So we got a lot to get to here on the show. Sam Bourquin here. Ryan Rainsberg is
Over here.
on the other side of the glass. We welcome you into 1310 WDPN. Phone lines are open. Jot these numbers down. Keep them close. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. You can text the program anytime. 330-944-5179. You can also get in right now on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. The chat is open. Fire away with your comments, questions, concerns, predictions, praise, whatever you want to throw our way. Get it in the chat room. It's open right now, and we'll fire that up throughout the show. USA in action tonight. World Cup against Bosnia-Herzegovina. That's a little bit after 8 o'clock tonight in San Francisco. So go Team USA. Excited about that. Should win. They're a pretty heavy favorite. They're a pretty heavy favorite right now. They should win that match. So we'll see if they can get it tonight for the old red, white, and blue. All right, Guardians are in action as we speak. They did have a 5-0 lead. It's now 5-3 in the 6th inning up in Cleveland. David Fry had a big 3-run home run today to give the Guards that 5-0 lead. But since the Rangers have put 3 on the board, it's Cleveland 5, Texas 3. I believe they're in the 6th inning now at Progressive Field. And, of course, we will check that score for you throughout the afternoon, as well as the other Major League Baseball scores. Boy, I bet it's hot up in Cleveland today. I saw a couple pictures, panoramic pictures, if you will, of of the crowd, and it looked like, it looked like you would expect. A lot of empty blue seats today. It's really, really hot outside. But guards are up. We'll continue to update that one for you here on the show, 1310 WDPN. All right, so where are we with NBA free agency? What's going on? What's the latest? Lots and lots of activity today. Obviously, the big fish is still out there. Still out there, and that's LeBron. It's really weird. You talk to half the people that I guess are extra in the know. They feel it's Golden State all the way. There's another 50% that thinks it's the Cavs all the way. And there's some other random teams that are kind of jumping in San Antonio, Minnesota, Detroit. Brian Windhorst from ESPN brought up Denver today. I really do believe this is going to come down to, Cleveland, Golden State, or Miami. If there's a wild card team out there, then so be it. But I don't believe that there is right now. Lots of moves today. You know who's been busy today? The Los Angeles Lakers have been on a heater today. Just signing guys left and right. Big deals, too. Like, I don't think the Lakers have a first-round pick until the year 2050. Honest to God. They are just firing them away.
Well, how much money did they come off of losing LeBron?
Well, that was one. Yeah, that was, boy, they've I mean, Colin Sexton, remember old Colin, former Cav? He got a 2-year deal worth $19 million. Walker Kessler, via a trade with the Utah Jazz, he's going to end up signing a deal for $130 million. The Lakers got Walker Kessler from Utah for unprotected first-round picks. Listen to this. In 2031, 2033, first-round pick swaps in 2028 and 2030. Kessler will sign a 4-year, $130 million deal with the Lakers. So they are on fire today. Mitchell Robinson is leaving the New York Knicks. He's going to the Boston Celtics. 3 years, $47.4 million. So the NBA champion is leaving the Big Apple. Dolan says he wasn't going to go into the second apron again, so I guess I could see that coming, but going to the Celtics. Okay. Let's see here. John Collins has agreed to a 3-year, $51 million deal to sign with the Detroit Pistons. He is a former LA Clipper. Free agent guard Mike Conley has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Boston Celtics. Free agent center Nikola Vucevic has agreed to a 1-year, $3.9 million deal to return to the Orlando Magic. Norman Powell has agreed to a 2-year, $45 million deal with the Chicago Bulls. He was with the Heat last year. Marcus Smart has agreed on a 2-year, $13 million deal with the Houston Rockets, plus a player option for the second year. Bogdan Bogdanovic has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Rockets. Lots going on. And as I said yesterday, kind of look and see, LeBron's the big deal, the big story. But watch and see what these other teams are doing to see how it maybe or could affect what the Cavs do, what the Golden State does, what Boston does, what Miami does. Kind of keep your eyes on all the little moves. Kelly Oubre has signed a 2-year contract worth $17 million to go to the Indiana Pacers. We've talked about the Pacers the last couple of days. That will definitely make them better. So what does this all mean? What does all of this mean in a nutshell? Especially from the perspective of the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron's watching. You know his people are watching everything, every move. I've seen stories today that, just like we did years ago. Hey, there's a plane tracking from here to there. So-and-so met with so-and-so at his house for 2 hours the last couple of weeks. I mean, take those stories for what they're worth. Some of them are true, some of them are not. But I woke up this morning, and of course, first thing I did was check Twitter, and my first thought was, how long is this going to go? How long is this go around going to last?
What's the over-under on how long it's going to take for LeBron to decide?
I mean, is it going to be over the weekend? I mean, is it going to be next week?
Oh.
Is it going to be into the third week of July? You know, LeBron is very tactical the way he announces and when and who he tells. I'm just kind of wondering how long this is going to go. I mean, I don't think he would do it over the 4th of July weekend.
That's what I was going to ask you.
He might. You never know.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I mean.
And especially if these other teams are kind of lining up the dominoes and it's like, okay, we're going to make a move. We're going to make a move. But at the end of the day, all the talk about Golden State and the talk about Miami, the path leads back home. I finally put my guarantee out on Facebook today. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, nothing is official until it's on Facebook. So I put it out there today. I said, I think I'm going to quote my own post. I've said it on my show. I'll say it right here. LeBron James is coming back to Cleveland. I guarantee it. And of course, that riled a few people up. Some people were really happy. Some are ready to hit me in the head. But I'm going to stick by that. Today is July 1st. This is what the Cavaliers roster looks like as of right this minute at 3:21 p.m. Thomas Bryant, Jarrett Allen, James Harden, Tristan Amora, whoever that is, Sam Merrill, Riley Minix, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Larry Nance Jr., Craig Porter, Tyrese Proctor, Olivier Sarr, Dennis Schroeder, Max Strus, Naquan Tomlin, rookie Malik Thomas, and Jalen Tyson. Now, I can see some of you out there right now. I'm looking at you. Where's Dean Wade? Where's Keon Ellis? Oh, they're gone. They're gone. Dean Wade has signed a 4-year, $39 million deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. Keon Ellis is gone. He signed a 2-year, $18 million deal with the Brooklyn Nets. So, of that long roster that I just read off to you, there's a pretty good chance Dennis Schroeder will be not on the roster. Max Strus will not be on the roster. That's 2. Then if there's a possible big trade, a big blockbuster, then either a Jarrett Allen or an Evan Mobley could be off of that roster as well. You can keep 15. And usually guys 10 through 15 are just there. Okay? You got your 5 starters, you got your 3 or 4 key guys off the bench, a couple guys behind them, and then it's just you're filling out the roster for the NBA. So the roster that I just read you now could look a whole lot different here in 24, 48, 36. Who knows? Could be days. Will LeBron come back to Cleveland? Does it all come down the path of coming back to Northeast Ohio? I also saw it was this morning, that LeBron would be willing to take a little less money this time around, which is a huge feather in the cap of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then you might be able to hold on to a couple of these other pieces that you thought maybe because of the financial aspect of it, you would have to get rid of. 330-821-1310. Get your comments in the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We got the chat open for you. Our poll question today has to do with the weather. Thought we'd shake it up a little bit today. Poll question of the day. Get your comments in. Get them in right now. What is your favorite way to beat the heat? What's your favorite way to stay cool on a day like today or the next couple of days here in Northeast Ohio? Pool, patio, man cave, basement. I see some of you are decided to go to the casino today because it's nice and air conditioned. Honest to God. What is your favorite way to beat the heat? Get those comments in on our social media platforms, and you can give us a ring at 330-821-1310. 95 degrees, a real feel of well over 100 degrees right now. Stay cool. We're glad you've joined us. We'll come back. We'll dive in. 1310 WDPN.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, is hiring traffic control flaggers, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
Looking for a fresh way to explore downtown Canton? The new Canton Art Walk takes you beyond the artwork and into the stories that shaped our city. Discover colorful murals, public sculptures, local history, and the creative spirit, transforming downtown into an open-air gallery. Whether you're a lifelong resident or a first-time visitor, you'll see Canton in a whole new way. Presented by Arts and Start and Visit Canton. Guided tours begin in July. Reserve your spot today at CantonArtWalk.com. That's CantonArtWalk.com. Discover the art, uncover the stories, experience Canton.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
AM 1310 WDPN, welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. 95 degrees. It's 106 with the humidity. 106 degrees. Whew, baby. That's hot, man.
That's insane.
That is hot. That's hot for here.
Yeah, I think the humidity's sitting at maybe 65, 66% too. So
that's hot. I have been in Vegas when it's been 117. And I know you're all going to laugh. It didn't feel like it at all.
Oh, yeah, that's what I've heard.
The old dry heat. Now, no, don't get me wrong. It's hot. But 117 degrees with like 10 or 12% humidity, you would not believe the difference in comfortability, if that's even a word.
Yeah, imagine the breeze is a lot cooler.
Brian Beatty, by the way, checking in. He is poolside. How you doing, Brian? Guardians lead the Rangers 6-3. We are now in the bottom of the 7th up at Progressive Field. Got to get one today, don't we? Boy, Tanner Bybee threw so well last night. 7 innings, gives up 2 runs. Doggone deep offense, couldn't score. Cooper, I'm not going to. If you didn't hear by now, Cooper Ingle caught what he thought was the third out of an inning last night. Rangers had a man on second base. Cooper thought the inning was over. He took the ball, threw it into the stands, and jogged off the field. Oops. It was only 2 outs.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So the runner gets the score from second. That's a rule. The Guardians go on to lose last night. So he's a rookie. We'll forgive him, Cooper. Just don't let it happen again. Right now, bottom 7, 6-3 Guards. Cleveland's got a runner on second base. And let's see here. Guardians have scored 5 in the second today. Good job by David Fry, 3-run home run. They've scored 1 so far in the bottom of the 7th. Rangers 1 in the 3rd and 2 in the 6th. Let's see here. Gabriel Arias scored on a wild pitch today. David Fry had a 3-run home run. Chase DeLauder singled to right. Stephen Kwan scores. So it's 6-3 Guards, bottom 7, Cleveland with the runner at third base. All right, phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. Get your text in. Get your comments in the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We continue to follow NBA free agency. We'll check in on the Guards. And Kroger is going to buy Giant Eagle for $1.65 billion. They say that will officially close early 2027. We'll throw that around a little bit later on today as well. Coming up, news and the weather. After that, we will check in with Ben Axelrod from Front Office Sports. We'll break down NBA free agency and talk some Cavs, LeBron, and more right here on the show. 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. President Trump telling gasoline retailers to do the right thing and lower prices. Last week, President highlighted a 60-cent fall in gas prices following the end of the Iran war. On Truth Social Monday, the president wrote gasoline retailers must get their prices down immediately. They're too high, considering oil is now at $68 a barrel and heading south. Data suggests the economy powered through the oil shock. Nominal spending climbed 0.7% in May after rising 0.4% in April. Real spending, which had been flat in April, rose 0.3% in May. 22 Democrats voted with the Republicans Tuesday to reject Democratic Michigan Representative Rashida Tlaib's War Powers resolution, would have directed the president to remove troops from hostilities in Lebanon. Resolution failed in a 235 to 189 vote. The resolution not legally binding and would not reach the president's desk for a signature. Among the Democrats who voted no were Representatives Henry Cuellar of Texas, Tom Suozzi of New York, and Brad Sherman of California. Republican Kentucky Representative Thomas Massey voted for the resolution. Victims of the dual earthquakes in Venezuela last week recounted to various outlets the ordeal of trying to identify their loved ones at the port of La Guaira, which the government is using as a makeshift morgue. The U.S. was the first country to respond, deploying search and rescue operations and committing at least $300 million in relief. As of Tuesday, the government documented over 1,900 deaths and 10,000 injuries, missing largely under the rubble of entire communities of collapsed buildings. A website that documents life in Venezuela reported Tuesday it was receiving testimonials of people telling how the military and the police were there to loot or even block the attempt of people to dig for their dead. without bribes. British government said it would not be able to deport a leader of a Pakistani child rape grooming gang. Sabir Ahmed was jailed for 22 years in 2012 over a string of child sex offenses around the northern English city of Rockdale. Also acted as a ringleader of a gang that plied young girls with drugs and alcohol while passing them around as effective sex slaves. Despite being stripped of his British citizenship, ringleader exploited a legal loophole to prevent his deportation. He successfully appealed to the Immigration Act 1971, which prevents people from Commonwealth nations who arrived in the UK before 1973 from being deported. Government will have to monitor Ahmed, who will be required to live in a residence with 24-hour staff at taxpayer expense. The Department of Transportation announced Tuesday the FAA has issued proposed rulemaking to replace more than 50-year-old prohibition on overland civil supersonic flight. Proposal marks a key step in implementing the president's executive order signed last month directing the FAA to repeal regulations the administration says have unnecessarily constrained U.S. aerospace innovation. The rule would clear the way for what the Department of Transportation described as a new generation of commercial supersonic aircraft that would dramatically reduce travel times while minimizing the noise impacts that led regulators to ban them in the early 70s. The FAA aims to finalize the rule by mid-2027. 94 degrees at 3:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Aerial Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Hazy, hot, and humid through your Wednesday afternoon. That extreme heat warning continues with a thermometer reading of 97, a feels like temp closer to 106. Overnight clear and starry with lows in the middle 70s. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
Boy, good day to be out at the pool, probably with sunscreen on the top of your head, a drink in your hand. Hang out with us here on the show, 1310 WDPN, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, all of our social media platforms. 95 degrees right now. The real feel is 106. Be safe out there. We appreciate you joining us here on the Wednesday edition of the show. Guards up 6-3 over the Rangers in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll keep you posted there. Again, David Fry, big 3-run home run today for Cleveland. NBA free agency. Little bit of a slow start yesterday. At 6:01, some stuff was trickling in, kind of heated up last night. A lot more activity today. Boy, the Lakers and the Celtics making a lot of moves, people going here and there. Of course, the big dog, the big fish is still out there, LeBron James. Could it take a while? Would it be done over the weekend? Lots to talk about, lots to dive into, and let's do it right now. Ben Axelrod, Front Office Sports, joining us here on the show, 1310 WDPN. Ben, good afternoon. Are you beating the heat today, my man?
I'm trying at the expense of my electricity bill. Yeah, I'm beating the heat.
Hey, forget about those bills. Just throw them away. You never have to pay them. All right. So I am firmly, staunchly, I'm pretty damn sure LeBron James is coming back to Cleveland. I have nothing to base that on except watching things line up with other teams, salary moves, salary stuff, LeBron James himself. Where are we sitting here, Benny? It's the Cavs, it's the Warriors, maybe the Heat. Is there a wild card out there? How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, right now we are in the most open, I think a LeBron James free agency has been since the original decision in 2010. At that point, you had the Cavs, the Heat, the Nets, the Knicks, the Bulls, all of them were in it. And then you go to 2014, that was really just a 2-team race between the Cavs and the Heat. 2018, it was a 1-team race with the Lakers. I think that was a foregone conclusion. Now this reminds me a little bit more of 2010. I mean, I think the Cavs are certainly in it. I think, the Cavs and Warriors have probably separated themselves as the two front runners, at least in terms of public perception. And then after that, the Heat certainly seem to be in the mix. And then you have a couple of wild cards. The Minnesota Timberwolves have generated some buzz. I've seen some people throw out, a team like the Spurs, just in terms of if LeBron wants to go chase that 5th ring. And so This one feels like a little bit more wide open, especially in terms of the reporting saying LeBron is going to consider all his options. Right before we hopped on, there was a report out of Denver that the Denver Nuggets are going to explore, what they could do to add LeBron James. So this one feels a little bit more open than 2014 or 2018 in terms of LeBron James free agencies. But I do think the Cavs and the Warriors, like those are the two teams. If you just follow the betting odds, follow the prediction market stuff, like they've really separated themselves in terms of being LeBron's likeliest destinations.
Yeah, I've been following that through the Vegas books, the sports books, Kalshi, Poly Market. It's Golden State, Cleveland, and you can flip them, I think, every other hour. Things change. So what would it be like if LeBron decided to go to Golden State? How would that make fans feel? How would that make you feel? What would that look like?
I think it'd be a really tough pill to swallow. I think both in terms of myself and the larger Cavs fan base. I wouldn't go as far as to say that it would diminish or tarnish 2016 or anything like that, because I have seen people take it to that extreme, and I don't agree with that at all. But I do think like it would make it really tough, as a Cavs fan, as somebody in Northeast Ohio, to enjoy, what I would imagine is going to be LeBron James's retirement tour. He's heading into year 24. Nobody has even ever played 23 seasons before LeBron did so last season. So you'd have to imagine this is going to be his final season, although you never know. He's still playing at such a high level, but it'd make it really tough, I think, to enjoy his retirement tour and enjoy that final send-off. And, I don't know if he would even I guess if you knew it was his final game in Cleveland, he'd get that big ovation, but I don't know if it would even be like, this past year, that emotional scene I know you and I talked about when he came back with the Lakers and the way the Cavs celebrated him this past season. So it would just be really weird to go through everything that Cavs fans went through from 2014 through 2018 with the Warriors being the Cavs' primary rival and, primary obstacle in terms of winning NBA titles. And then to see him team up with, Steph Curry, a guy it seemed like he had a lot of disdain for, team up with Draymond Green and all that. I think I don't think it affects his legacy or anything like that, but I do think, Cavs fans would have some issue with it, and I don't think they'd be unjustified in feeling that way.
Ben Axelrod is our guest. Check him out, Front Office Sports, on all your favorite social media platforms, especially on X. Check him out. Does a great job following a bunch of different stuff. So that was my next question, Ben, was going to be, do you think it'll be a one-year deal? Will it be a one and an option? Will it be at a two? What do you think he'll sign? I
think one and a player option would make the most sense. I'm not up to date, like on the latest CBA mechanisms in terms of what, like, I don't even know if they have it in there, what a 42-year-old can sign for in the CBA, because they used to have rules like once you were 36, you could only sign for X amount of years. And LeBron is going to be 42 in December. So I would imagine it would be a one-year deal at its base, but LeBron also having the flexibility to control, if he does want to play another year, if he wants to wait for Bryce James to make the move from Arizona to the NBA. Like, I don't think it's crazy to think LeBron could play a 25th year just because he is playing at such a high level here in year, or heading into year 24. But I don't think it would be anything more than a one-year deal plus an option, if that's even feasible for him.
We were chatting on the show yesterday, and I was looking at the roster yesterday, and obviously Wade is gone and Ellis is gone, and there will be some more that'll probably be going one way or the other. But I looked at the roster of the names on the right, and then I looked at LeBron James on the left. I moved LeBron James over to the right column, and I said, at the age of 41 plus, who's the best player on this team? Would it still be Donovan?
I think so. I think, Donovan Mitchell, I think, is pretty firmly established as a second team all NBA player. I think that's the team he's made the last 3 seasons. That's not nothing. That is, a pretty big accomplishment when you consider how high, the talent level in the NBA is right now, for Donovan Mitchell to be pretty firmly established as a top 10. And I don't think anybody could reasonably say below top 12, level player for Donovan Mitchell. So I think it would still be Donovan Mitchell as the quote unquote best player, but LeBron's not far off from there. LeBron,
No.
I think, is a top 15, top 20 level player. I do think you kind of have to dock him on some of the injury and availability stuff that he's experienced at this age. But look, to be playing at that level at 41 years old, going on 42 is, I think it should lead SportsCenter every night. I think it should lead the nightly news on most nights. Like, this is an unprecedented thing we've seen, even in comparison to a guy like Tom Brady, who was doing it at the quarterback position just a few years ago. So for LeBron to still be playing at this level and he would fit in on this Cavs roster. That's the other thing. Like, this Cavs roster needs a wing. They need another ball handler. And I also think he'd ultimately be the leader on this team. I think that's a reality, is wherever LeBron James goes, and especially when he's in Cleveland, he winds up being the de facto leader. And if he were to come back, even for just a year, even knowing everything that Donovan Mitchell has done for the last 4 or 5 years, I think this would be, quote unquote, LeBron's team.
And taking my fandom out of it and taking the bias out of it, Ben, he's the perfect link for this team. You mentioned they need somebody like him that's 6'8", 6'7". Look, am I crazy to think that I could still get LeBron for between 26 and maybe 28 minutes a night? Could he get me close to 18 to 20? Could he still get me 7-8 boards, 7-8 assists? I think he still can. Do you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that those projections, they seem like they're almost on the low end, just because we are used to LeBron having such a higher output, even here in these later years of his career. But yeah, I mean, he is pretty consistent about his output. I think having, both Donovan Mitchell and James Harden to lessen that load in terms of being a ball handler, I think that'd be big for him. He, to play with two guys of that level, I think would be really, really important for him in terms of keeping the miles down. And I do think, you'd be in a situation where, I don't know how much LeBron would want to do this if this is his last season and he knows that going into it, where you could do some load management, where you're not, counting on him to play 82 games a year. You're counting on him to play 62 games a year or whatever they set the threshold at for him to still potentially win awards, which he didn't meet this last year with the Lakers. So yeah, I think, and you never know, some of these guys, when NBA players fall off a cliff, they tend to really fall off a cliff. But we haven't really seen that with LeBron, even though we have seen signs of him slowing down, at least compared to the MVP caliber player that we saw him play at from 2003 through, 2022.
Ben Axelrod is our guest from Front Office Sports. Okay, Ben, what is the path or paths to get LeBron back to Cleveland? What is it going to take? Is it going to take maybe the acquisition of a Jaylen Brown? Does Dan Gilbert have to dangle some stuff in front of him? What's it going to take?
Look, I think getting a Jaylen Brown would help. Everybody by now has seen the clip of Brian Windhorst on ESPN last night talking about how the Cavs, have this ability to potentially go out and trade for Jaylen Brown and what that would signal to LeBron in terms of how serious the Cavs are about competing. I think, you look at the Cavs, they had the highest payroll in the NBA last season. They've probably had the highest combined payroll in the NBA over the course of the last 5 seasons combined. And that's for the NBA team in one of the smaller markets in all of the NBA. I think Dan Gilbert has shown he is committed to winning with this roster. He's committed to winning, obviously, with the Cavs. I don't think that's in question. I do think, you might need to look at what might be more important is moving off of Max Strus, because that would change the Cavs restrictions in terms of the aprons and the salary cap and all that. And it could be the difference between the Cavs having the ability to offer LeBron James $6 million a year and $15 million a year. And I know for a guy like LeBron, who has made millions, if not billions of dollars to this point in his lifetime, that might not matter, but there is a stature thing in the NBA that does matter. And I do think, getting to the ability to offer him $15 million a year, I do think that puts you in the ballpark of what looks like a viable offer. So it reminds me a little bit of 2014. The Cavs traded Jarrett Jack. I think they had to attach a draft pick to him to just get off him. And that was to open up the cap space to sign LeBron coming back from Miami. And so this does feel like something where if the Cavs move off of Max Strus in this next day or two, and it looks like a trade where the Cavs are just moving salary for the sake of moving salary, I think that, and I think, the fact that they didn't match the Sixers offer on Dean Wade, which would wound up to be a pretty reasonable offer. I think, if you were to add those two things up, I think it would show the Cavs have something up their sleeve here. And it's pretty easy to point to what that would likely be.
I would agree. It just seems to me, Ben, it's just kind of all the dominoes are falling. Whether they're really obvious, some may not be, but it just I feel it. I just feel this is going to happen. Dennis Schroeder, would he be also a guy that could be on the move?
Definitely. He is a he's not a guy who matches his salary, especially when you factor in where the Cavs are at with the luxury tax and all of that. And so I think him and Max Strus is somebody who's a little bit more important to the Cavs rotation, just in terms of he's been that veteran leader. He's been that glue guy. You'd kind of hate to see the Cavs just kind of give him up for nothing. But I think Strus and Schrader, they stand out as the two likeliest kind of quote unquote salary dumps if you do want to make some, higher level moves, which is what the Cavs, I think, are ultimately, looking to do. I think something that flew under the radar yesterday, I know it was big NBA news in terms of Kawhi Leonard getting traded back to the Raptors, but you move him back into the Eastern Conference, that creates a new contender in the Eastern Conference from a team that already took you to 7 games in the playoffs this past season. So the East is only going to get tougher. Obviously the Knicks, looked like a buzzsaw by the time the finals were over. And so I think, this isn't an offseason for the Cavs to make just moves around the fringes. This is a offseason for the Cavs to go big game hunting. And I think ultimately, having to move off of Schrader and or Strus to make that move ultimately might be what you have to do.
Ben, what do you think the chemistry would be like if LeBron would come back to Cleveland? How would that rub off on a Donovan Mitchell? What do you think the chemistry would be between a Kenny Atkinson and a LeBron and a James Harden? There's a lot going on there. What would that be like?
I think the off-court chemistry would be fine. I think, Donovan Mitchell idolizes LeBron. James Harden has a lot of respect for LeBron. They've been playing against each other now since 2009 when James Harden came into the league. Like, I think this would be a locker room that fits, that would be very single-minded in terms of their goal of winning a championship. I do think the basketball fit is a little funky. I'd even say, especially if you were to bring in a Jaylen Brown, that's 4 ball dominant guys, 3 of whom, LeBron, Donovan Mitchell, and James Harden, aren't necessarily known for their defensive prowess at this point in their career. So I do think there would be kind of a funky fit there on the court. In terms of coaches, LeBron's played for every single type of coach at this point in his career. I mean, he's played for Mike Brown. He's played for David Blatt. He's played for Tyronn Lue. He's played for JJ Redick. Like, he's played for every single type of coach you can have in this league. So I wouldn't be too concerned about how he fits with Kenny Atkinson. And if it's not a fit, then we've seen how that goes too. But, I think that off the court, everything would be kind of fine and well. And I think this would be a team with good energy. You would want to see how the rest of this roster shakes out, though, in terms of how the basketball fit looks.
Ben Axelrod is our guest, Front Office Sports. Check him out. A couple quick ones off of the Cavs, but we stay in the NBA. I mean, my God, the Lakers just writing up contracts today like crazy. The Celtics making a lot of moves. What are some of the other big NBA moves that popped today, Ben, that kind of moved the needle for you?
Yeah, I mentioned it. It was a move that happened yesterday, but Kawhi going to the Raptors, I think that is a really big domino to fall in the NBA, not only because it moves Kawhi to the East, but it kind of signals that the Clippers, who were previously viewed as a contender, are now entering a different phase for their franchise. I thought that Mitchell Robinson going from the Knicks to the Celtics was really interesting. I don't necessarily see the fit there in Boston. And he was a guy you could kind of, foul off the floor because of his poor free throw shooting. So he's definitely an interesting fit in Boston. And I think Boston wants to get a little bit more inside out. And then the Celtics adding Mike Conley Jr. too. I mean, Mike Conley Jr. entering year 20 at this point in his career. What does he have left in the tank? But I think the Celtics are showing like they have a lot of urgency coming off of last season's disappointing exit to the Sixers in the first or the second round of the playoffs. And I think that, they're signaling they're not satisfied, and it's going to be really interesting. They they still have a big domino to fall with whatever happens with Jaylen Brown. So what the Celtics have been doing outside of the Raptors reacquiring Kawhi, that's really kind of caught my attention.
Yeah. What did you make of the Norman Powell 2-year $45 million to go to the Bulls?
I thought it was interesting that Miami wasn't in a position to re-sign him because they did have the ability to re-sign him with his bird rights. That is a team that is really kind of capped out in terms of their resources. And so you have this roster that's Giannis and Bam Adebayo, who I don't think are necessarily, they're both great players, but I don't think they're necessarily great fits next to each other. And now you lose a guy who was playing at an all-star level just last season. I know his play kind of dipped in the second half, but he is a dynamic scorer. And he'd be another asset for that team to potentially trade. So the fact that the Heat weren't able to keep him, I'm really interested to see what the Heat do from here with the rest of that roster. And, I think that's one of the reasons why they're maybe not viewed as strong as Golden State and Cleveland are in terms of being contenders for LeBron, is that they are just, they're kind of a roster that's in no man's land. They have Giannis, they have Bam, and then what else do they have? And what else do they have to go get other pieces? So it's really going to be interesting to see how that shakes out, because there's obviously a lot of hype around Miami after acquiring Giannis, but I don't know what that roster 1 through 12 or even 1 through 5 is going to look like come October.
And lastly, LeBron's old team, sounds weird to say, the Lakers doing a massive overhaul. Of course, Luka's the kingpin now, but Walker Kessler coming from the Jazz. They made some other moves. How do you think the Laker fans feel now about their roster, at least their starting five?
Yeah, our old friend Colin Sexton, they also signed a nice little bench piece for them. I think the Lakers, and I guess you could lump their fans into this as well, I think they're just ready to kind of move on into the Luka phase of this franchise. I think that, you went from Kobe to pretty shortly after Kobe retired to having LeBron on your roster. I think 2 years later, you go through COVID, go through, the ups and downs with the LeBron era. Then you make this trade out of nowhere to get Luka, and it really kind of readjusts your timetable, readjusts your thinking as a franchise. And so, I think they're kind of viewing this as the start of a new era for them. I don't know, how much a roster centered around Luka and Walker Kessler and Austin Reeves is going to be ready to challenge the likes of Oklahoma City and San Antonio and even Denver in the West. But I do think they kind of view this as a reset, as LeBron's off the books now. This is our core in place moving forward. And then every offseason we can kind of incrementally improve. So it's interesting because they're making, I guess you could say, splashy moves, but I don't think they're necessarily moves that anybody views as them closing the gap on what's a pretty loaded Western Conference at this point.
Ben Axelrod, Front Office Sports. Always appreciate the visit. Lots of wild stuff going on. We'll continue to follow, and we'll follow you as well on social media. Ben, appreciate the time. Thanks, bud.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Ben Axelrod, Front Office Sports. Give him a follow on X. All right, looks like Tobias Harris has a chance to end up with the San Antonio Spurs. That is an interesting development now coming in from Shams and ESPN. So we'll keep our eyes on that as well. All right, we are going to take a break. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. You can get your comments in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel in the chat. Thoughts on our conversation with Ben Axelrod about LeBron, NBA free agency, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Guardians have now taken a 9-4 lead over Texas as we go to the top of the ninth inning at Progressive Field. We'll take a break and come back.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? SafeStep walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. SafeStep walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. 95 degrees, our temperature right now, 106 with the real feel. Be careful if you are out and about. Try to stay cool. Sam, when I was a kid, nobody had central air. A few folks had window air conditioners. Most everybody used fans. My dad bought a huge window air conditioner and then went in the living room window. Obviously, it didn't cool the whole house, but kept the living room, kitchen, and dining room cool. I moved sleeping to the couch. Same with the cars when I was a kid. We didn't have air conditioning in the family car. Before that, it was 4 windows down at 60 miles per hour. That was our air conditioning growing up.
I bet that window air conditioner still works to this day.
Yes, because the ones that they made then were built to last. Right. You buy an air conditioner nowadays, it'll last you 3 years.
Blowing air as cold as ice.
Right.
To this day.
And then they'll sock you for like a 3-year warranty. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, in case something happens, you got, yeah. Okay. Don't get me started on warranties on products. I'll lose my mind. News and weather coming up next. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on 1310 WDPN.
Keeping Alliance entertained and informed for over a half a century. AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In North Dakota, President Trump toured the Theodore Roosevelt Library in Medora, ahead of now delivering remarks at the opening ceremony. The president arriving on the new Air Force One gifted from Qatar. ABC's Selena Wang with more.
There's been bipartisan concern over the conflicts of interest here, the ethical, the legal, the national security concerns. Remember, this is a $400 million gift from Qatar. This is likely the largest gift ever from a foreign government. And the Pentagon has spent the last year, as well as hundreds of millions of dollars in taxpayer money, to retrofit this plane and do the necessary security upgrades to make sure that it's fit for use by the President of the United States.
In New York City, a couple scaled the Empire State Building spire today in what appeared to be a protest that ended in a proposal, both now facing charges. A heat dome bearing down on much of the country with dangerous triple-digit field temperatures, raising the risk of life-threatening conditions. This is ABC News.
That'll be 84.52.
Perfect. Grab the bags, honey.
Mom, why do you always check your phone before we pay?
I'm just claiming my cash back on the Upside app. Since we're getting the groceries here and we filled up the car on the way, I've already earned enough this morning to pay for that pizza night we're having Friday.
Wait, so the app pays for pizza?
Not exactly, but the cash I earn on stuff we need helps us pay for the stuff we want. It's just a little win for our family every week.
Get more out of your everyday. Upside is the free app that gets you cash back on routine purchases like gas, groceries, and dining out at more than 100,000 locations nationwide. No points, no rebates, just cash back straight to your wallet. Download the free Upside app and use promo code ACT5 to get a $5 bonus on your first purchase. That's promo code ACT5 to get a $5 bonus. Remember, use promo code ACT5.
Offers vary by user and location of participating merchants. Go to Upside.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. An extreme heat warning remains in effect through 8 Thursday night across Ohio. Heat index values could reach 108 degrees. Residents are urged to stay hydrated, limit time outdoors, and check on elderly neighbors. Alliance City Council's Property and Land Committee recommending an 18-month moratorium on new data center development. Committee met Tuesday to discuss future siting rules after recent public opposition and a zoning change limiting data centers to heavy industrial areas in the city. Proposed moratorium would temporarily pause new projects while the city reviews regulations and community impacts. The recommendation expected to go before the full council Monday. Council has approved a resolution combining the duties of the clerk and council clerk's assistant. Action during a special session Tuesday follows the termination of Assistant Tatiana Crockett. No reason was given for her dismissal. A replacement will be sought, and Clerk Stacy Gurney will take on the additional responsibilities. In the meantime, she'll receive a bi-weekly stipend of $145, retroactive to June 10th. 14-year-old boy had a pretrial conference in the shooting death of a 15-year-old girl in Alliance. The accused ordered remanded in the Multi-County Juvenile Detention Center by Judge Matthew Kreitzer until a hearing September 18th. The teen entered a not true plea, the juvenile equivalent of not guilty, in Stark County Family Court last week on counts including reckless homicide and involuntary manslaughter. County prosecutor's office seeking to have the teen tried as an adult. Kennedy Wise was killed June 19th in a shooting in a home on West Summit Street. Canton man facing charges of pandering obscenity involving a minor in Stark County Common Pleas Court. 42-year-old Todd Gang was indicted in May following allegations from June 2025. Summons was issued, but he failed to appear for arraignment later that month, prompting a judge to issue a warrant. Gang was arrested Monday, and arraignment now set for Thursday. Plain Township trustees have approved a 25-year annexation agreement with the city of Canton. Under the deal passed Tuesday, single-family homes, duplexes, and triplexes can't connect to Canton water and sewer services without being forced into city annexation. Repository reports the agreement also includes a revenue sharing plan for future annexed properties and allows Plain Township to keep property tax revenue for 25 years before city taxes take effect. Officials say township services, including police, fire, and road maintenance, will continue, and any annexation would require property owner consent. A UTV crash in Tuscarawas County claimed the life of a 14-year-old and left another teen critically injured. The Highway Patrol says it happened Tuesday afternoon on Township Road 203 in Clay Township when a Polaris Ranger went off the road and overturned. Both 14-year-olds were ejected. One was pronounced dead at the scene. The other was flown to Children's Hospital. Neither teen was wearing a seatbelt or helmet. An investigation is ongoing. Columbiana County property owners have more time to pay their second half 2026 real estate taxes. County Treasurer Brian Blakeman says the deadline was extended from July 29th to August 21st after the state delayed finalizing new property tax credits required under House Bill 186. The Treasurer's office has also launched a new online payment system with additional payment options and free email and text reminders. Mahoning County Commissioners have approved a property tax break for owner-occupied homes. The exemption will reduce property taxes by about 2.5%, with the savings taking effect on 2028 tax bills. Commissioners say the move provides relief as residential property values have increased an average of 24%. School, library, and township officials warn the tax cut could reduce funding for levy-supported local services. 2 civil suits pending over the crash that killed a state trooper in Mahoning County, the latest filed by the estate of Nicholas Caton, who died in October when his cruiser was rear-ended on Route 11 near Canfield while assisting a disabled semi. The suit alleges negligence by the driver of the truck, his employer, and the driver of the disabled semi. A separate suit filed earlier this month by the truck driver injured in the crash also seeks compensatory and punitive damages. Ohio Senator Bernie Moreno shared he would reintroduce former Nevada Senator Harry Reid's bill that would eliminate birthright citizenship for the children of illegal migrants and clarify who can receive birthright citizenship. Moreno responded to a post from Fox News' Bill Malugin, who shared in 1993 that the Democrat Reid had introduced the Immigration Stabilization Act. Moreno writing Reid's reintroduced bill would seek to make changes to legal immigration limits by cutting overall legal immigration by restructuring family-based visas and setting employment-based immigrant visas to zero, along with shifting family preferences toward parents of adult U.S. citizens. Bill would clarify birthright citizenship does not apply to children born in the U.S. to mothers who are neither citizens nor lawful permanent residents. 95 degrees at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunny and hot through your Wednesday afternoon. Muggy too. We've got a heat index of 106 on the way, a high of 97. Our extreme heat warning continues. Overnight clear and starry skies with a low in the middle 70s. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Surgery. High drive, deep left field. That is back, and back goes Happ looking up, and that ball is gone. It's out of Wrigley Field. Fernando goes yard and then some.
Colson Montgomery, back it goes. Get out. That one onto Utah Street.
2. Locked him up. And Gabe Cavalli said something to Wilson Contreras. Here we go. Benches are clearing. Yeah. Wilson Contreras hit 3-run homer last night and chucked his bat, and now he wants to throw his helmet at Gabe Cavalli.
Sure what I can throw now to get him out. That ball's doused to left field. That's way back here and gone. Tart bomb icing on the cake for nothing. High, deep, to right field, all the way back, it's gone! Put 4 on the board for 44. The Astros lead this game 6-3.
1310 WDPN. A lot of good baseball action last night. Guardians lost last night. Forget about it. They win today. 9-4. We got some highlights coming up for you, including a David Fry and an Austin Hedges home run. So stay tuned for that. We will continue our talk on the Cavs and LeBron and the NBA free agency. Tobias Harris has just signed a contract with the San Antonio Spurs. 2 years, $31 million. So the former Piston moving on to San Antonio. That's an interesting move right there. That's an interesting move. I thought he was a pretty good fit with the Pistons, and obviously they're, an up-and-comer. That surprised me there just a little. Phones are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Text line, 330-944-5179. And the QTube. Yeah, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel is open for business. We got the chat open. Lots of folks in there today dropping comments. Keep those coming in, and we'll read them, of course, during the show today. Thanks to Ben Axelrod from Front Office Sports for joining us in the 3 o'clock hour, talking Cavs, LeBron, and, of course, all the NBA free agency news that continues to pour in here by the minute. Sammy's best bet, 429 today. On this day in sports history at 529 today. Our poll question, get those comments in too. What is your favorite way to beat the heat on a day like today? And tomorrow? And Friday? And Saturday? What's your favorite way to just stay cool? What's your go-to on beating the heat? Let us know. That's our poll question of the day. Rainsburg, what's yours? Stay in the AC?
No, I like the pool. I just don't like to do it very often.
Okay. All right, good. Me too. I would rather be in the pool. What do you smile, smirking about over there?
Kalshi betting odds.
Oh, here we go. The latest on the betting odds where LeBron James will end up.
So yesterday, when we left here, it was at 48% for the
Golden State.
For Golden State.
And the Cavs were at
32.
32.
Well, as of just the moment ago when I looked, Golden State is at 36 and Cleveland is at 34.
Ooh. So somebody else is jumping in. Some other teams are jumping in.
Cleveland is rising fast. Golden State is dropping like a rock.
Told you. I told you.
Sam, you've been promoting this for the last 24 hours.
Yes.
It's happening. I feel like it's happening.
It's happening.
Now.
It's happening, brother. It's happening. It's happening. Telling you. All right. Guards beat the Rangers today 9-4 on a sweltering day in Cleveland. But the bats were out today. So how many? This team, unbelievable. 5 runs in the second today. Then they go 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Cleveland, 4, 8, and 0 for Texas. Joey Cantillo gets the win today. Joey went 5 innings in the heat, 3 hits, 2 runs, 4 strike hits. He walked 5. Oh my goodness. You don't usually walk 5 guys and win a game, but they did. Mackenzie Gore started for the Rangers. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs. He struck out 7 and walked 1. But one of the big highlights today came in the bottom of the second inning, and old David Fry was coming up to the plate.
Sets, fires, swung on, hit high in the air to deep right. Durant's back, track, wall, gone! David Fry gets that most needed huge hit. A 3-run home run to right. It's a 5-run inning. Cleveland 5, Texas nothing.
Tom Hamilton on the call of the Cleveland Guardians radio network. Nice job, Hammy. Guardians win 9-4. Austin Hedges would hit a home run later. Chase DeLauder would get a base hit and score today as well. So a 9-4 win after last night's game. Guardians now wrapping up today. That's it. They're done with the Rangers, and then we'll get rolling here again coming up here this weekend. Other scores today: good one in the Bronx. Yankees and Tigers 2-2, bottom of the 10th. Nationals pounding the Red Sox 10-0 in the 8th at Fenway. Well, I bet the Fenway fans are having a ball today. Bottom of the 6th in Chicago, Cubs hammering the Pirates. Hammering the Padres 13-2. Blue Jays lead the Mets 1-0, top of the 3rd. Got another final in the box today. The White Sox finally got cooled off. That's good news. Orioles beat Chicago by the score of 6-1. So now the Guardians just a game behind Chicago in the American League Central Division. Now, where are we tomorrow? Oh, that's right. The Chicago White Sox are coming to town Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Chicago's going to come in a game over Cleveland in the division. Now, it's July, but Siccone's going to be on the bump tomorrow. Martin on the bump for Chicago. So it's a 6:40 first pitch tomorrow. 7:10 first pitch on Friday. On the 4th of July, they will play at 7:10. And then on Sunday, they will start at 2. That's interesting. They don't usually play games at 2 o'clock. Now I got to go see where see, you can always tell. All you need to do is look at the start time, and if it looks a little weird, that means something's up. Sunday's game is on Peacock. All right, 2 o'clock, Chicago, Cleveland, Peacock on Sunday. Just looking ahead a couple of days, just want to kind of give you a little heads up there. So the Guardians picked up a win today after losing last night. That's good. How about Joey Cantillo? I'll tell you what, anymore, if you go 5 strong innings, they consider that a quality start, which I think is a little crazy. I always thought a quality start had to be at least 6 innings. So, I mean, maybe 7, but today's age of specialization and all the bullpen guys and middle relief and short relief and long relief and back end of the bullpen and second back end of the bullpen, and then your closer. Pretty soon you're 5-6 pitchers in, and that's why a quality start nowadays is sometimes 5 innings will pass for that in Major League Baseball. All right, so our poll question today: how do you beat the heat? What is your favorite way, especially on a day like today, where it's 106? The real feel is 106 degrees right now. What's your favorite way to get over on Mother Nature and the heat wave on a day like today? A lot of folks responding in today, the pool. Some of you say, I am not even coming out of my house. I'm staying in the air conditioning. Don says, floating in my pool with a cold Budweiser in my hand. Sounds good, man. Sounds really good. John says he likes to hide out in his man cave. Jeffrey says a corner 3-ball. See what you did there. That's a Miami Heat reference. I knew at least one person would do that today. Now I see more coming in.
Of course.
Scott says river float. Always a breeze, shade, and a cold water. It's better than being in a pool.
Oh, yeah. He's got a point.
River float. See, today, me, like a lazy river would be great.
Yeah.
Get the sunglasses on. Maybe you get a little drink in your hand. I think that would be really good right now. JC says, Sammy, hey, we're at the Guardians game. He just sent me a little picture. Appreciate that, JC. Whew. He looks like he's doing okay. Looks like the fam's up there and they're cooling. Let me zero in on the photo. Oh, wait a minute. That takes Wi-Fi. Never mind. We'll do that later. Tom says, a drink in my hand. Can't beat it. Rocky says, I'm at the Jack Casino today. They have really good air conditioning, I hear. Mark Smith says, I stay in my man cave. Our very own Clint Marshall. Sit in the air conditioning. And I can tell you he's doing that right now.
Oh, yeah.
Tina says, I don't get it. How do you beat the heat? Oh, boy. Okay, there's our first sexual innuendo of the day. Knock before you come in, he. Tina, thanks. Bill says, stay in my house, man. The air conditioning is cranked. Doug says, stay in the air. Ray, sleeping in the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Pat says, stay home and have the AC on with a blanket over my legs. Rick says, sitting in my downstairs area drinking, listening to Black Sabbath and Jimi Hendrix. I'm good to go. Okay, Rick, appreciate you. Beth says, I'll be at the beach. Sean says, I'm staying indoors. Jeannie says, Sam, beach or a pool on a day like today. Jim Vogt says, Sam, I'm in the house. I have a pool, and it's still too hot to go outside.
Yeah, I think that's what Beatty said. Brian Beatty commented, it's too hot to even be by the pool today.
Wow. Matthew DiGiacomo says he's going swimming today. Good for you, Matthew. Oh, Tim, what are you doing? Working out in the yard. Woo. And then ready to go to the gym later. That sounds like about a 10-pound weight loss day right there. Go get him, Timmy. George says, Sam, I'm at home with the AC on. What's your favorite way to beat the heat? 330-821-1310 and get your comments in on all of our social media platforms. Day like today, lazy river, cool drink in hand.
Yeah, big cup of ice water.
Yes, for like hours. I will get on that flotation device, and I will go around that lazy river for 6 hours, and I won't even pay attention to what's going on around me. I won't. Just leave me go. Get me in that lazy river. I'm happy. The pool would be nice too, but a day like today, I'm going lazy river. And then when I get too hot, I'll get off the flotation device. I'll get in the water and I'll get back on it. Oh, a lot of people though were, today. Well, let's see. What's today? I would say, probably starting Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I think through Saturday. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, our air conditioning bills are going to go through the roof.
Mhm.
It's going to be time to pay the piper when that next bill cycle comes around. You're going to say, "Oh, I should have maybe kept it at 75 instead of 68." But it's going to get even hotter tomorrow, and then I think like I said, we may start to cool down maybe Saturday night. Into Sunday morning. Real feel right now is 106 right now. Temperatures at 95 degrees. All right, NBA free agency heating up. Guards with a win today. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get back into it here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Phones are open, 330-821-1310. We'll be back.
At Cleveland Clinic, every moment matters. So you unite as one to care for hearts like your very own. You push your minds to help heal theirs. And you forge new paths to help fight cancers. Because when defying the odds is what you do, the right care can change everything. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
Looking for a fresh way to explore downtown Canton? The new Canton Art Walk takes you beyond the artwork and into the stories that shaped our city. Discover colorful murals, public sculptures, local history, and the creative spirit, transforming downtown into an open-air gallery. Whether you're a lifelong resident or a first-time visitor, you'll see Canton in a whole new way. Presented by Arts and Start and Visit Canton. Guided tours begin in July. Reserve your spot today at CantonArtWalk.com. That's CantonArtWalk.com. Discover the art, uncover the stories, experience Canton.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go? I did it. I got the job. I can't believe it. I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, human. I'm a micro monster swimming around in your plastic water bottle. But I can't wait to swim in your bloodstream soon.
Microplastics are micro monsters.
Drink me. Wait, what are you doing?
But you can fight back by using glass or metal reusable water bottles.
No!
Don't let microplastic micro monsters invade your body. Find more ways to fight back at stopmicromonsters.org.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Again, the real feel of 106 degrees right now. And it's going to be this way probably the next 2 or 3 days. So be careful and make sure you are hydrated. I went down to our trusty convenience store today. I still have my water bottle, but it's like that ice doesn't stand a chance in that water bottle because it's more of an insulator than a cooler thing, so it's shot. So I had to go down to our trusty convenience store today. Got me one of these 44 ounces lemonade at a very good price, I might add. Real cheap today. It was good. It worked out good. I thought it would be packed. I really thought. Actually, I took my phone down. I said, maybe I'll get some video here of, 40, 50 people waiting in line to get a Polar Pop. But that wasn't really that busy, which was nice because I got in there and got out, got back here. Had a little lunch with some of the crew today, which was fun. Some of the hardworking folks here at 1310 WDPN and Q92. We laid out our plan of excellence for the next 5 to 10 years. Rainsburg, you'll be happy to know you are a part of the plan.
Am I?
You are.
I am.
In our plan, you are a major player.
That's good to know.
So you got that going. Yeah, we had a little meeting of the mind board meeting offsite today, just for fun. Had a good time.
Okay.
Cubbies now lead the Padres 15-2 in the 7th. Nats lead the Red Sox 10-2 in the 9th. The Tigers have taken they're a menace to the New York Yankees right now. Detroit leads New York 3-2 there in the 11th, and the bases are loaded for Detroit at Yankee Stadium. All right, Sammy's best bet last night was a stinker. We had over 7.5 with the Blue Jays in the Mets. Ended up 3-2, so we didn't get there. Tonight, we're going back to baseball. I thought about going to World Cup tonight with Team USA and Bosnia-Herzegovina. U.S. is a pretty big favorite tonight. It's the knockout round. I think they're going to win. I just want to enjoy the game tonight. That's all. So we didn't put that on there. But we are going to go to a total tonight, deep in the heart of Texas, where we've got the Houston Astros taking on the Minnesota Twins. 8:10 the first pitch tonight. The total right now is sitting at 8.5. That ballpark is not a pitcher-friendly park. The ball flies in that place, whether the roof's open or the roof is closed. The Crawford boxes out there in left center field kind of jut out a little bit, so a little easier to get you home run action in left and left center field. You combine these teams together, they're averaging just under 10 runs per game. We got to go over 8.5 tonight. I kind of like that, and I like this park for runs. I really do. They used to call it Minute Maid Park. I don't know what they call it now. But we're going to go Astros Twins tonight over the 8.5. That's Sammy B's best bet of the night. Astros Twins over the 8.5. News and weather's coming up.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. Ukrainian forces have struck Russia's major Ufa oil refinery for the second time in a week. Attacks on Russian oil facilities have created a fuel crisis and increased political pressure on the Kremlin. The Ufa refinery, one of Russia's largest producers of lubricants. Ukraine also targeted a missile component plant in Russia's Penza region. The drone and missile attacks have slowed Russian advances. Meanwhile, Ukraine gaining interest globally for its military technology, especially drones. Federal prosecutors directed Tuesday to prioritize investigations into so-called birth tourism after the Supreme Court struck down President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship for children born to illegal immigrants. Colin McDonald, Justice Department Assistant Attorney General for Fraud, said the immigration system is being exploited by foreign nationals who travel to the country under false pretenses to give birth and secure U.S. citizenship for their children. The memo cites cases related to birth tourism schemes, including one from 2024, in which a couple operated a business called USA Happy Baby Incorporated that helped Chinese nationals obtain fraudulent visas to enter the United States. The two were sentenced to 41 months in prison. 29-year-old socialist Melat Kiros defeated 15-term Democrat Representative Diana DeGette in a Colorado congressional primary Tuesday. Kiros, who was born the year DeGette first took office as a lawyer, first-time candidate and Democratic Socialists of America member, whose family emigrated from Ethiopia when she was a baby. Kiros had 49% of the vote to DeGette's 43%. Kiros described 9/11 as, quote, inevitable and said U.S. destabilization in the Middle East, quote, forced people to believe another act of violence was the only response. House Speaker Mike Johnson warned Marxist socialists and the insurgent far left have taken over the Democratic Party. CIA investigated thousands of personnel and contractors for not receiving a COVID-19 vaccine in 2021. Then President Biden imposed vaccine mandates for federal employees and contractors. Shortly thereafter, the CIA's chief operating officer directed the Counter-Espionage Department to investigate all unvaccinated contractors and workers in the agency. Plaintiffs said in a lawsuit filed in Virginia Tuesday, a cross-agency group established by former Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard learned of the order in 2025 from a whistleblower and asked for confirmation. The CIA responded by confirming. James Erdman III formally asked the CIA to remove all material from the investigation and information in employee files. The agency never responded, leading to the lawsuit. France's public health agency has reported 1,000 excess deaths in a heat wave. The agency, operating under the French Ministry of Health, said Sunday its preliminary count of excess deaths found most of the fatalities involved the elderly, and it expected the mortality rate would rise. In Germany, at least 7 people died in swimming accidents over the weekend as the heat wave sent many to lakes and rivers to cool off. At least 2 people died in separate swimming accidents in Berlin Saturday. Air conditioning is rare in Europe due to government regulations. 95 degrees at 4:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
97 hot and muggy degrees for your Wednesday high. It's going to feel like as warm as 106 degrees. We've got an extreme heat warning today through Thursday. Overnight tonight, middle 70s, not much relief, clear and starry all night long. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
This morning and the sun was gone. Turned on some music to start my day. And lost myself in a beautiful song.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. As you just heard Clint and Mark, 95 degrees. We have a real feel of 106 right now. Make sure you are staying hydrated and as cool as you possibly can. Yesterday, when I came into work, I never went back out to the car to crack the windows. Today, I did. All 4 windows are down.
Yeah, I also did not have any windows cracked yesterday and made sure to do that today.
Yeah, it was today for sure. Yesterday I didn't. Today I did. I'm very happy about that. What is your favorite way to beat the heat? Get your comments in the Q92 Radio YouTube page. Sam, can I get 1310 WDPN on my Alexa Echo Dot? I think so, David. I responded to him in the chat. I think so. Let us know, because I don't want to be putting out bad information. But I would have swore I've done that at home a couple of times just to see, and I think it came on. But let us know. We certainly hope so. Scooter, guards win. Hedgie hits a home run. Here we go. 9-4 the final today. Hey, I'll tell you what. Let's get you some Tribe. Let's get you some Guardians highlights. First, we're going to go defense, and then we're going to go offense. The first was a great defensive play by Daniel Schneemann, and then old Hedgie came to the plate a little bit later on.
Swung on a chopper on the right side. It gets into right field. Caught, spinning throw to first. High throw. Hoskins leaps up, comes down in the bag to get Diaz. Wow. Schneemann on a chopper that actually got through the right side into shallow right. Grabbed it on a lunge, spun and did a 360 spin. High throw to first. Hoskins went up, grabbed it, came back down on the bag.
So there's Hammy, again, courtesy of the Cleveland Indians radio network. And then late in the game, this is what you call a little cherry on the sundae. Austin Hedges coming to the plate.
He sends one high. He sends it deep to left. There she goes. Gone. A 2-run home run to the bleachers and left. Number 2 for Austin Hedges this year. And Cleveland's got a 9-4 lead here in the 8th.
And that's how that one ended, 9-4. Again, courtesy of the Cleveland Indians Radio Network. Tom Hamilton on the call. Guards win. Guards win. And now the Pale Hose come to town. Chicago, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Guards are a game out of the division. And here we go. It's July 1st. Major League Baseball All-Star break coming up here in a couple of weeks. Let's just kind of see what happens here. Let's see what happens with this series with the White Sox. Couple of things. Don't get all crazy if they lose 3 out of 4 the bad way, and don't think we're going to win the pennant if we take 3 out of 4. I would say the way these teams are playing each other, the way they're playing, period, I would say if I was going to bet a future here, I would bet that this series would be a split. I would say the Guards will take 2 and the White Sox will take 2. We'll see. Be nice to win 3 out of 4. It'd be great to get a sweep. But again, even if there's a sweep by somebody, that's not the end of the world. Now, if the White Sox would sweep the Guardians, they would leave town with a 5-run lead in the division, which it is what it is. It's still July. But it'll be interesting to watch these teams, how the managers square off against each other, how they handle the bullpens. Anxious to see the starting lineup night in, night out for Stephen Vogt. We still got a ways away from getting Hosey back, and we're still a little ways away from getting Angel Martinez back. But today, 9 runs. What was the crowd today? Yeah, the weather held it down a little bit. 20,141 was the paid attendance. Not so sure that many people showed up on a 94-degree day in Cleveland.
Yeah, there.
And I tell you, I wouldn't blame you.
That home run clip we played, you could see somebody.
There was nobody there.
Yeah, somebody came. They had to run down at least 4 or 5 rows to grab that ball. They came running down the stands to pick it up. So
if you went today, you left early.
Yeah,
especially if you were like in the bleachers, because you'll cook.
Oh yeah,
you'll cook in the bleachers, and you'll cook on the right down the right field line too. So yeah, a lot of people had already left before Hedgie hit that home run because it was a smoker today up in Cleveland. 9-4 Guards win. Again, they're a game behind the White Sox. Chicago comes in. Big 4-game series at Progressive Field. And I would be, well, let's see. Tomorrow's going to be, it's going to be hot, the whole series.
Yeah.
But I would expect Chicago's in town. Get a little bit of a rivalry going here. We're back and forth in first and second place. It's a holiday weekend. I know they got some great promotions coming up Friday and Saturday for sure. For a 4-game series, you might get 110,000. I think for the series. I don't think you'll average 30, but I think you'll average. You know what? I don't know. 4 games. Okay, tomorrow's going to be your lowest attended game.
Hands down.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, but even on a Thursday night, it's nice. A lot of people are going to be off Friday. You know what? I'm going to say the 4-game total. I think we're going to get 120,000 people. I'll say it on the average, it'll be 30,000 a night.
Yeah, I could see Sunday's game getting plenty good numbers of people there. Because Sunday should be pretty good.
A little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, it will be in the middle of the day. Got to keep that in mind.
That's true.
But, some folks may say, the game's on Peacock. Screw it. I'd rather pay a couple extra bucks to go see the game in person. So maybe they'll do that. But I'm going to call right now 120,000 attendance for the 4-game series this weekend. With Chicago, and we'll see what happens. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, the White Sox, they can't keep doing this. Oh, this is just the this is a mirage. They're a fraud. They can't keep doing it. Well, we're halfway through the season, and the White Sox are still there. They're not going away at this point. All right, now they did lose today, 6-1 to Baltimore. But Chicago's a fun, young, hungry, exciting team. And there's probably guys on that roster, probably guys in the starting lineup that are like, hey, this is fun, man. We don't really know any better. Let's just go out and play ball and see what happens. There's no pressure on the Chicago White Sox. There's no expectations there. Now they keep doing what they're doing, expectations will be there. A couple more months, and the Guardians and the White Sox are within a game or two of each other, then there's going to be some pressure. Because you don't want to fiddle-faddle around with a wild card. I've always said that, and I say that to this day. I know if you get in, you get in. You just want to punch your ticket to the dance, but you want to win your division, okay? You want to win your division, and that's how you want to go. Tigers just beat the Yankees again today, 6-2 in 11 innings. Boy, oh boy. How about Detroit? Detroit's a funny team, too. There's a team that had pretty big expectations. And then Tarek Skubal gets injured. Oh, he's going to be gone for a long time. And he was gone for a long time. And then he comes back. And then maybe we're not going to be sellers. Maybe we're just going to grind this thing out and see what we can do. And then they go on a little losing streak. Then they win a couple. And they're 39-49. They're still 10 games under. But they've had a weird year. Yankees with the loss today are now, 48-39. Let's see here. Detroit 6. Well, they only had 6 hits today, but they had 6 runs. McKinstry, Torkelson all had good days at the plate. Riley Green. McGonigal had a home run. I don't think Dylan Dingler did anything today for the Tigers, but he's been on a tear offensively, the former Polar Bear and Ohio State Buckeye. Detroit's had a weird year, but they beat the Yankees today by the score of 6-2. All right, let's just jump back here into the NBA. Let me take one quick peek here on X and see if there's been any other signings or trades or rumors. We told you Tobias Harris has signed a 2-year, $31 million contract, leaving the Pistons to go to the San Antonio Spurs. That will make them a little better basketball team. There's no denying that. Been fairly quiet on the LeBron front today. For the most part, been pretty quiet. Lakers, wow. That team is going to look completely different. Luka, Colin Sexton, Austin Reeves signed that big contract extension. They got the young man from Utah. They're going to sign him for 4 years, $130 million. It's going to be like, I bet if LeBron looked at the Laker roster today, his eyes probably popped out of his head. What is this? By him leaving, it opened up a lot of money for them to go out and spend. Plus, they've pretty much, I don't think, and I'm being serious here, I don't think the Lakers have their own first-round draft pick for like 10 years. I think they've traded them all the way. So that's how Rob Pelinka operates.
Got to get LeBron James somehow.
That's how he operates. So I ran down the Cavs roster earlier today. Now, again, if you missed it, Dean Wade gone to Philadelphia, and Keon Ellis has gone to Brooklyn. So they are no longer members of the Cavaliers. It's the Warriors, it's the Cavs, the Heat. Brian Windhorst, ESPN, has reported the Cavs are looking into moving Schroeder, who is owed just under $15 million next year. As for Strus, Windhorst says a potential trade is definitely something to keep an eye on. Remember a couple of days ago, James Harden opted out. He will get back in, but it sounds like he is going to be extra friendly with his contract to help the Cavaliers along to pursue what they want to pursue. And Dean Wade. How about Dean Wade cashing in today with Philly? 4 years at $39 million.
Is that $39 million per year?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I was like, whoa.
4 years, $39 million total.
Got it.
So
That's still almost $10 million a year.
Yeah, he did pretty good for him. Remember, Dean Wade didn't get drafted. He didn't get drafted out of Kansas State. He just made the team. He worked hard, and hey, good for him. Good for Dean Wade. But he was a guy I think we just kept waiting on to pop. He would have a good offensive game one night. He'd hit 6 or 7 threes. The next night, he'd be lucky to put up a shot. Some nights he looked like one of the greatest defenders in the NBA. And then there were other nights where guys were going to the hole and hitting them for 25, 30 points. It just wasn't consistent enough. Nice guy. Dean's a great guy. He'll fit in anywhere he goes. He'll fit in with Philly. So that is going to be a little bit of a loss for the Cavs. Not like it's not the end-all, be-all, but there were nights where, Dean Wade gave you all he had. But good for him. 4 years, $39 million with Philly.
I think we'll be okay. I don't see a huge difference between Dean Wade and Sam Merrill, and we're keeping Sam Merrill. So,
well,
at least in how they play. I know we might get more.
Yeah, see, to me, Max Strus and Sam Merrill are kind of like 1 and 1A. Both deep three-point shooters, don't really play a lick of defense. They can stretch the floor. Good dudes, good locker room guys. Strus is 6'5". They got Merrill at 6'4". I don't think he's quite that tall, but with Dean Wade leaving, he was a guy. Dean Wade was a solid 6'8". He could play on the perimeter. He could also play inside a little bit, but I'm hoping he does well in Philly, and I hope they welcome him and give him a good shot. Keon Ellis. Here's the guy. Remember the trade last year? We got Keon Ellis. We got Dennis Schroeder in that 3-team deal. We got them from Sacramento. That was back in February. And at the time, I thought, ooh, okay, I like this move. I like this move where we're at right now. I liked it because Keon Ellis brought you a little defense. He could score, but he was a good defender. He was gonna run both ends of the floor. Going to play hard for you. Schroeder, he brought that little chip, right? He brought that little chip on his shoulder. He could get to the hoop. He could also play some perimeter D. He'd get in your face, right? And I think we needed that. But I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with either one of them. Like Keon Ellis, his minutes just evaporated.
Yeah, he never played.
Not at all. I don't know if that was on him. We're not at practice. We don't know. Maybe him and Kenny didn't get along. I don't know what happened there. Schroeder just he Schroedered. Yeah, he's a traveling player. He's gonna end up on his 12th team now in the last 13 years coming up. He won't be in a Cavs uniform. I can tell you that. So he just kind of moves on. He goes where he goes. So, but when at the time that deal was made, I seriously thought, okay, this is really good for us. This is going to help.
Yeah, I liked Schroeder at first.
I didn't think we were going to win the title, but I thought we were going to get there. Because when we got these guys in February, we had a little bit of February. We had March, April, start the playoffs. I said, this is good. This is good. It just never panned out. It just didn't. And nobody's fault, but I just did, and even you noticed, Rainsburg. I mean, Keon Ellis just couldn't get into.
He just never played.
He couldn't get into a game.
No.
The last part of the season, and of course the playoffs, he never got on the floor.
Yeah, no, never in the. I maybe saw him play a handful of times in the playoffs, if that.
Yeah,
no more than 5.
I just thought that was weird. I just thought it was weird. So Dean Wade gone, Keon Ellis gone, and we've mentioned this a couple of times now. There's a couple of more contracts that probably need to be taken away. Strus is probably the big one. Schroeder's a big one too. But then if you're looking at a LeBron reunion again, then you're going to have to go get somebody else. And I think that somebody else could be a guy like Jaylen Brown. Put it this way. If the Cavs move off of Strus and Schroeder's contract, then the door is wide open to go get a Jaylen Brown and then bring LeBron in on a maybe a little bit more than a vet minimum deal. If he's willing to do that, and I think he might. You want to offer him more, he'll take more. But if they said, hey, Bron, here's the deal. We got 15 guys under contract. This is where we are with the salary. This is where we are with the cap. This is where we are with the apron. We can give you as much as X if you want to come back and be a part of this thing, and let's make a run. We might prefer to just give you this to keep a little bit more money open for maybe something else down the road, but this is what we can give you. I think he would be open to that because I would think he would look around the roster and say, okay, Jared Allen, all right. Sam Merrill, okay. Donovan Mitchell, okay. James Harden, Craig Porter Jr., all right. Okay, Jalen Tyson, all right. Maybe he would say, all right, this looks good enough to me to take this deal for what you want. Where's the pen? Let me sign right now. I think he would be good for that.
I liked how Ben Axelrod talked about the fact that if LeBron comes to the team, there would be off-court chemistry that would be good, but the on-court chemistry would be less good. I really thought he was making a good point there because having that many star players on the main starting line all at once is definitely going to could be tricky.
Yeah. Well, here, and depending, all right, and again, if LeBron comes and you get a Jaylen Brown, you are looking at maybe like James Harden's minutes would lessen.
Yeah, for sure.
LeBron's would lessen just because he's going to be 42. So you would have that front line, okay, of your starters, of which LeBron would be, obviously. But then your second line, if you play it right, you might not take a hit offensively because everybody would be able to put the ball in the basket.
Exactly.
So, and I am predicating this, oh, man, Mobley or Allen is going to probably have to go
for sure.
So, you'll lose one 7-footer, but you'll keep another, and then their starting minutes would probably grow up. And if Allen goes and you hold on to Mobley, he's the younger guy. Then somebody's got to get into his head and say, "Hey, here's the deal. You need to play 34, 35 minutes a night. And you got to play hard. You're not coming out. You're not coming out for a rest. You're not coming out for this or that. We need you on the floor. It's a 48-minute NBA game. You need to play at least 35, 36 minutes a night. At least. Maybe more. That's how they're going to have to work that. But common sense tells me that it would be Mobley that would go before Allen. But we'll see. What do you think? 330-821-1310. We'll take a break. We'll come back, get you to the top of the hour here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay with us, everybody.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell. As a mom, I want my kids to have full bellies, big dreams, and all the energy in the world to chase them. But right now, millions of kids in America are living with hunger. No Kid Hungry works every day in schools, in communities, and during the summertime to make sure kids have healthy meals all year round. So let's do this. Let's give all the kids the chance to grow up healthy and strong.
Go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Where does your generosity to mercy ships go? To a small village in Sierra Leone, to the eyes of a mother, to an operating room, the healing, the anxious wait, until finally, a beautiful smile. To a port in Madagascar, into the hands of a surgeon, to the eyes of the MRI technician, the scalpel, the monitor, the post-op, and finally, a mirror, a tumor removed, replaced by tears of joy. To a small fishing village in Africa, to the hopes of a boy, to his dreams of playing soccer, to the hands of a surgeon, the long recovery, until one day, the joy of finally being part of the team. Where does your generosity go? Wherever mercy does.
All right, we got news and weather coming up here at the top of the hour. Clint Marshall standing by with the news. Mark Johnson with the weather. Get you caught up with what's going on in your world. We got one more big hour to go. We'll get back into NBA free agency. We'll recap the Guardians' win against the Rangers today. And we'll tell you which high school up in Akron's getting brand new field turf, courtesy of the Cleveland Browns. All that and more coming up here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Dangerous heat alerts stretching across 16 states. New York City facing what could be the hottest heat index on record since 2010. Doctors warning about the potential signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Darian Sutton.
It can start early on from heat exhaustion symptoms like cramping or spasms, but that can progress into symptoms of palpitations or abnormal feelings that you're having an abnormal heart rhythm, sometimes a headache, and in the severest forms, heat stroke. That's when your body temperature is no longer able to be regulated. And that's when patients come in with a temperature over 103 degrees Fahrenheit with signs of in-organ damage.
President Trump in North Dakota for the opening ceremony of the Theodore Roosevelt Library. He traveled on the inaugural flight of the new Air Force One plane gifted by Qatar. In World Cup action tonight, the U.S. takes on Bosnia and Herzegovina in their first of the knockout rounds. And on Wall Street, stocks ended lower. This is ABC News.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. Heat index values could reach 108 degrees across Ohio today and Thursday. An extreme heat warning is in effect until 8 Thursday night. Residents urged to stay cool, stay hydrated, and limit outdoor activity. A possible 18-month pause on new data center development in Alliance could head to City Council next week. City's Property and Land Committee met Tuesday and is expected to recommend a moratorium while officials review regulations and community impacts. Recommendation expected to be considered at Monday's council meeting. Move follows recent public opposition to data centers and a zoning change limiting them to heavy industrial areas in the city. City of Alliance will search for a new council clerk assistant following action taken by council Tuesday. Lawmakers approved a resolution combining the duties of the clerk of council and assistant position after the termination of Tatiana Crockett. In the meantime, Clerk Stacy Gurney will assume those responsibilities and receive a bi-weekly stipend of $145 retroactive to June 10th. A 14-year-old boy was ordered remanded to the Malden County Juvenile Detention Center Tuesday. Stark County Family Court Judge Matthew Kreitzer ordered the boy held after a pretrial conference. The suspect pleaded not true in the death of 15-year-old Kennedy Wise, June 19th. Alliance police say the boy had taken a 9mm handgun to a home in the 600 block of West Summit Street, believing the gun was not loaded, and pulled the trigger while pointing it at the girl. Charges include reckless homicide and involuntary manslaughter. The county prosecutor's office seeking to have the teen tried as an adult. An arraignment now set for Thursday in Common Pleas Court for a Canton man facing charges of pandering obscenity involving a minor. 42-year-old Todd Gang was indicted in May in connection with June 2025 allegations of possessing child sexual abuse material. The summons was issued later that month, but Gang failed to appear for arraignment, prompting a judge to issue a warrant. Gang was arrested Monday. New 25-year agreement between Plain Township and the city of Canton is aimed at resolving a long-running dispute over utility access and annexation rules. Under the deal approved by trustees Tuesday, single-family homes, duplexes, and triplexes can connect to Canton water and sewer without being forced into city annexation. According to the repository, township leaders add police, fire, and road services will continue, and any annexation would require property owner consent. The agreement also includes a revenue sharing plan for future annexed properties and allows the township to retain property tax revenues for 25 years before city taxes apply. Highway Patrol says 2 14-year-olds were ejected in a deadly UTV crash in Tuscarawas County Tuesday afternoon. It happened on Township Road 203 in Clay Township when a Polaris Ranger went off the road and overturned while taking a curve. One teen was pronounced dead at the scene. The other was flown to Children's Hospital in critical condition. Neither juvenile was wearing a seatbelt or helmet. The crash is under investigation. Rising property values have prompted Mahoning County commissioners to approve a tax break for homeowners. The owner occupancy exemption will reduce property taxes by about 2.5%, with the savings appearing on tax bills in 2028. Residential property values climbed an average of 24%. School, library, and township leaders say the change could reduce revenue for levy-funded local services. A settlement document reveals the District of Columbia has agreed to pay $50,000 to resolve a lawsuit filed by a resident who accused police officers of illegally detaining him for following an Ohio National Guard patrol while playing Darth Vader's theme song from Star Wars on his phone. The amount of the settlement by Sam O'Hara with the district disclosed in a document provided to the Associated Press Monday. O'Hara sued the district last year over what he says was his act of protest against a federal law enforcement surge in overwhelmingly Democratic Washington, D.C. Authorities in southern Ohio said it was the worst they'd ever seen. 16 children found in squalor in one home in Vinton County, east of Cincinnati. 4 people facing multiple felony charges from child neglect. Age ranges authorities say were from infancy to teenagers. Some needed to be hospitalized. Kids, police say, appear to have been kept in a 12-by-12 room And the suspects were adept in hiding the children from neighbors. Benton County Prosecutor William Archer announced the charges.
The 4 defendants were arraigned on 16 counts of second-degree felony, child endangering. They were assessed a $300,000 cash or surety bond per defendant. They were ordered to have no contact with each other as co-defendants. They were ordered to have no contact with the victims. Grandma, grandpa, father, and mother at this point. That's what we know. We are asking for temporary custody to Job and Family Services. The children are safe. They have been placed. We have some other issues we're still dealing with for their safety, but they are currently in a good situation and are being protected.
95 degrees at 5:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
When man's best friend chases the family cat through the window screen, you need a rapid repair from Bonfort Glass. In warmer weather, accidents can happen. When a hole in your window or door screen is keeping you from enjoying the fresh air, take that torn screen to Bonfort's for a speedy, expert repair. You think of Bonfort's for glass repair, but don't forget, they can take care of just about any problem you may have with a window or door, including screens. If your screens are old, worn, corroded, or torn, bring them into Bonfort Glass and Alliance. Replace those shabby old screens with new aluminum or fiberglass ones that will wear better and last longer. Bonfort's experts give you the quality you can depend on and service that's unsurpassed. So even if your best pal chased the cat through the window screen, just take it to Bonfort's for a rapid repair. For all your glass and window needs, rely on Bonfort Glass, 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Hazy, hot, and humid through your Wednesday afternoon. That extreme heat warning continues with a thermometer reading of 97, a feels like temp closer to 106. Overnight clear and starry with lows in the middle 70s. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Surgery. High drive, deep left field. That is back, and back goes Happ looking up, and that ball is gone. It's out of Wrigley Field. Fernando goes yard and then some.
Colson Montgomery, back it goes. Get out. That one onto Utah Street.
2. Locked him up. And Gabe Cavalli said something to Wilson Contreras. Here we go. Benches are clearing. Yeah. Wilson Contreras hit 3-run homer last night and chucked his bat, and now he wants to throw his helmet. And Gabe Cavalli.
Sure, what I can throw now to get him out.
That ball's doused to left field. That's way back here and gone. Torque bomb icing on the cake for nothing.
High, deep, to right field, all the way back and gone! Put 4 on the board for 44. The Astros lead this game 6-3.
All right, that's some action from last night. Obviously, a lot of games being played today. We'll have some Guardians highlights for you coming up. Daniel Schneemann with a nice defensive gem. We got a home run from David Fry, a home run from Austin Hedges. We'll get you those coming up here in a little bit. Guardians, by the way, a 9-4 win over the Rangers today. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. I don't have to tell you how hot it is, but I will. It's 95 degrees right now. The heat index is 107. It is cooking outside right now. So stay hydrated. Try to stay as cool as you can. It's going to be this way for the next couple of days and nights. So just kind of be prepared, hang in there, and make all the common sense moves, right? A lot of water, a lot of liquids. Try not to do any yard work, at least till, well, I was going to say at least till sundown. But then when the sun goes down, you can't see. But maybe you could wait till about maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock. It might cool off just a little if you got to get a quick mow in or something like that. But it is really sultry out today, so be careful if you're out and about. We're going to be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Phone lines are open for you. 330-821-1310. The Q92 Radio YouTube chat is open. We got the folks getting in today. Let's see here. You can also watch and listen to the show on the AM 1310 WDPN Facebook page, X page, the Sam Bourquin Show page on Facebook as well. Our poll question of the day, thought we would, with all the heat and everything, what is your favorite way? What's the best way for you to beat the heat and the humidity? What are you doing? What's the number one thing for you on a day like today or the next couple of days? You're like, man, it's really hot, really humid. I want to stay comfortable. I want to stay cool. What are you doing? You got the pool open? Did you go to a pool today? Are you at one now? Are you in the man cave? You got the air conditioning going? Are you on the patio under the umbrella? You know what we used to do when we were little, my sister and I, heck, our whole family. We'd go to grandma and grandpa's house. You know why? Because they had air conditioning and we didn't. So that's what we did. But how you beating the heat today? Let us know. Get your comments in, and we'll run through those here on the show, 1310 WDPN. A lot of people in their pools today. A lot of people got the AC turned on. A couple of you, JC is one who went up to the Guardians game today, got to see a win. All right, JC, 9-4 over the Rangers today. A lot of people, some went to casinos today to get into the air conditioning. Good move. It seems like that's the big stuff today. I mean, I guess there's only Tim still working out in the yard. Tim, take it easy there, bud. Take it easy. Matt says, I'm going swimming, and I'm going to be there until dark. Bill says, I got the AC on full go today listening to the show. Thank you, Bill. George checking in. George Arrett says, got the show on today. Keeping cool. Got a beverage. Thank you, George. So just kind of be careful out there today. All right. Guardians with a win. And after last night's setback and another wasted pitching performance last night by Tanner Bybee, kind of important to turn that around today. Then there was the boo-boo by Cooper Engel last night. Probably needed a win today. And they got one. 9-4. They got 5 big runs early, and they tacked a couple on late. The Rangers aren't a bad. They're around a 500 team. But the White Sox are coming in now for 4 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we'll see what we got. I said earlier in the show, I think this series between Cleveland and Chicago probably will be a split. I think they'll win 2. I think we'll win 2. But we'll see. What do you say? Let's play some highlights from the Cleveland Guardians Texas Rangers game today, and we'll start you off early again. This courtesy of the Cleveland Guardians Radio Network. Bottom of the second, and David Fry was ready to lift off.
Set, fires, swung on, hit high in the air to deep right. Durant's back, track, wall, gone! David Fry gets that most needed huge hit. A 3-run home run to right. It's a 5-run inning. Cleveland 5, Texas nothing. And David Fry with his 5th home run, giving him 12 RBIs.
So you thought, okay, this is going to be an easy day. Nope. That 5-3 lead start over. That 5-0 lead went to 5-3. Joey Cantillo exits after 5 innings of work. You thought, oh boy, going to be one of those white knucklers today. Nah, Cards put this one out of reach. Austin Hedges goes deep late.
He sends one high. He sends it deep to left. There she goes. Gone. A 2-run home run to the bleachers and left. Number 2 for Austin Hedges this year. And Cleveland's got a 9-4 lead here in the 8th.
And that's how it ended. Guardians win it 9-4. Joey Cantillo the win. White Sox come to town Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Games in progress now. In Toronto, Blue Jays shutting out the Mets 5-0. All of these games now have gone. Oh, my goodness. Rainsburg, I'm about to lay a score on you right now that you are not going to believe. Are you ready?
Yes.
Chicago Cubs beat the San Diego Padres today. 23-3.
Oh, man. Oh, my God.
What in the Sam hell is going on at Wrigley Field? Well, we could play highlights starting now and take that all the way to the end of the show at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, probably. Good Lord. 23.
23-3, 14-mile-an-hour wind. So the wind apparently was blowing out today in Chicago.
Yeah,
but
it was helping.
Still, 23-3.
That's insane.
The Cubs had 17 hits today. Wow. They're 49-38. Boy, they are they are magical at home.
It's 7. Does that mean that means they walked 6 at that point, right? It's 17 hits?
Well, no, it just means that they had 17 hits.
Yeah.
So there was probably, I'm guessing, a couple of home runs with guys on base.
Oh, okay.
I didn't look at the full stat, but here's the thing. The Padres had 11. This is weird. This is baseball. The Cubs scored 23 runs, and they did it on 17 hits. The Padres had 11 hits, and they only scored 3 runs. Just chalk that up to baseball. But wow, 23-1. So the Cubs win by 20 today over the Padres. Nationals beat the Red Sox 10-2 and 11. We told you Tigers beat the Yankees 6-2. Orioles over those Chicago White Sox by the score of 6-1. Team USA tonight will take on Bosnia-Herzegovina a little bit after 8 o'clock. It's the knockout round of the World Cup, and tonight's match will be in San Francisco. On the money line, USA is minus 270. You take Bosnia-Herzegovina, you get them at plus 750. Match time tonight a little bit after 8, and I'll be tuning into that baby for sure. Go USA. All right. Coming up on 20 minutes past the hour, 330-821-1310. You can get your comments in the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We'll come back, and what we'll do is I will run down most, if not all, of the moves today as far as NBA free agency is concerned. I still want to tell you who's getting new turf at their high school stadium, courtesy of the Cleveland Browns. And the Kroger Giant Eagle is getting a lot of buzz today. If you haven't heard, Giant Eagle is selling. Kroger is taking over to the tune of $1.65 billion that should close, that should happen sometime in early 2027. Of course, we have a Giant Eagle here in Alliance, and a lot of people are fired up about that as well.
We'll have to reminisce about Giant Eagle.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Fuel perks, where did they go? We'll take a break. We'll come back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay with us.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, is hiring traffic control flaggers, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
I think we can all agree. Over the last few years, things have gotten weird.
Weird, confusing, and at times pretty scary.
And for our kids, these things can be overwhelmingly stressful
and can increase the risk for mental health problems as they grow.
But there's so much hope.
Scientific research and real-life experience
tell us that the number one antidote to stress is authentic, trusted relationships.
So that's why I.
That's why
we.
That's why I am committed to building and maintaining a trusted space.
For the students I influence every single day.
Until schools across the country
can proudly call ourselves a trusted space.
This is 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 a trusted space.
Access free films and resources to build trusted spaces in your schools and communities at atrustedspace.org.
$1310 WDPN, welcome back to the show. All right, the latest on the Kalshi Sports app, where they keep track of these kind of things. The Cleveland Cavaliers have taken the lead in the LeBron James sweepstakes. Kalshi has the Cavs at 37% to get LeBron. Golden State, 36%. Miami is at 19%. Minnesota is at 4%. He ain't going to Minnesota. Not going to Denver. Forget all that. It's not happening. All right, pretty cool story for the Akron Buchtel high school football team. They're just up the road here a little bit. As you know, or you may not know, I will tell you, they have one of the worst playing surfaces in America at their stadium. Grass, mostly dirt, mud if it rains, potholes. I mean, I would... You're taking your life into your own hands, playing right now at Buchtel on that grass field. It's just in terrible shape. I've seen it. I've walked on it. I've been there. So the Cleveland Browns made a little surprise announcement. And Buchtel now is getting brand new synthetic turf, courtesy of the Browns Give Back program. They are excited up there. Akron Public, they are fired up. It's going to be installed over what is currently a grass football field at Buchtel. So the Griffs, they talked to a couple of Griffs players. They were so happy they couldn't contain themselves. They're like, "Oh my God, this is unbelievable." So yeah. So if your school's got a game at Buchtel coming up this year, don't worry about the turf. It's going to be in good shape, going to be safe. And you'll probably be able to fly on that stuff. So good for them. Good for Buchtel. I meant to mention this yesterday. Drew Meister has been hired as the new athletic director at Sandy Valley High School. He was most recently at Louisville. So congratulations to Drew Meister, the new athletic director and assistant principal at Sandy Valley. And another cool story. I saw this morning. Saw this in the Rep had a little write-up. Paul Wackerly. No, not the basketball coach. Paul Wackerly, the golfer from Minerva, is going to play in the United States Senior Open this week. How cool is that? Paul Wackerly is 53, Minerva resident. He's going to play in the U.S. Senior Open down in Columbus. Going to go up against more than 150 golfers. When does this start here? July 2nd at the Scioto County Country Club in Columbus. And how cool is this? Paul Wackerly from Minerva. He's going to get to play against Ernie Els, Stuart Sink, Davis Love III, Bernard Langer. That is really awesome. Congratulations, Paul. And do Minerva up proud and do us up proud. Good luck this week as you play in the United States Senior Golf Open down there in Columbus at the Scioto Country Club. That's awesome. Good for him. You imagine getting out there and teeing it up with Ernie Els and Patty Harrington and Davis Love III, right? It's coming down from Minerva. Get up on that tee, get that driver out of the bag, put the ball on there, and woof, here we go. That's pretty awesome. Good for him. On this day in sports history, I wonder if it was 106 degrees. No. 1905, Frank Owen of the White Sox. He pitched 2 complete games in one day. 18 innings he pitched in one day. We got guys now that they go 5 innings. It's a quality start. 1910, the Chicago White Sox opened their new park, White Sox Park. It would later be changed to Comiskey Park. 1941, Joe DiMaggio extended his hitting streak to 44 games. 1982, this is a significant day. Cal Ripken began playing shortstop on this day in history for the Baltimore Orioles. On this day in 1995, the NBA locked out its players. It was the first work stoppage in the history of the league. And they liked it so much, they came back and did it again. In 1998, they locked out their players for the second time in league history. That is on this day in sports history. We'll take a break. We got the news. We got the weather. Much more to come here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay cool, everybody. Hydrate. 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. President Trump telling gasoline retailers to do the right thing and lower prices. Last week, the president highlighted a 60-cent fall in gas prices following the end of the Iran war. On Truth Social Monday, the president wrote gasoline retailers must get their prices down immediately. They're too high, considering oil is now at $68 a barrel and heading south. Data suggests the economy powered through the oil shock. Nominal spending climbed 0.7% in May after rising 0.4% in April. Real spending, which had been flat in April, rose 0.3% in May. 22 Democrats voted with the Republicans Tuesday to reject Democratic Michigan Representative Rashida Tlaib's War Powers resolution, would have directed the president to remove troops from hostilities in Lebanon. Resolution failed in a 235 to 189 vote. The resolution not legally binding and would not reach the president's desk for a signature. Among the Democrats who voted no were Representatives Henry Cuellar of Texas, Tom Suozzi of New York, and Brad Sherman of California. Republican Kentucky Representative Thomas Massey voted for the resolution. Victims of the dual earthquakes in Venezuela last week recounted to various outlets the ordeal of trying to identify their loved ones at the port of La Guaira. which the government is using as a makeshift morgue. The U.S. was the first country to respond, deploying search and rescue operations and committing at least $300 million in relief. As of Tuesday, the government documented over 1,900 deaths and 10,000 injuries, missing largely under the rubble of entire communities of collapsed buildings. A website that documents life in Venezuela reported Tuesday it was receiving testimonials of people telling how the military and the police were there to loot or even block the attempt of people to dig for their dead without bribes. British government said it would not be able to deport a leader of a Pakistani child rape grooming gang. Sabir Ahmed was jailed for 22 years in 2012 over a string of child sex offenses around the northern English city of Rockdale. Also acted as a ringleader of a gang that plied young girls with drugs and alcohol while passing them around as effective sex slaves. Despite being stripped of his British citizenship, ringleader exploited a legal loophole to prevent his deportation. He successfully appealed to the Immigration Act 1971, which prevents people from Commonwealth nations who arrived in the UK before 1973 from being deported. Government will have to monitor Ahmed, who will be required to live in a residence with 24-hour staff at taxpayer expense. The Department of Transportation announced Tuesday the FAA has issued proposed rulemaking to replace more than 50-year-old prohibition on overland civil supersonic flight. Proposal marks a key step in implementing the president's executive order signed last month directing the FAA to repeal regulations the administration says have unnecessarily constrained U.S. aerospace innovation. The rule would clear the way for what the Department of Transportation described as a new generation of commercial supersonic aircraft that would dramatically reduce travel times while minimizing the noise impacts that led regulators to ban them in the early 70s. The FAA aims to finalize the rule by mid-2027. 95 degrees at 5:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunny and hot through your Wednesday afternoon. Muggy, too. We've got a heat index of 106 on the way, a high of 97. Our extreme heat warning continues. Overnight, clear and starry skies with a low in the middle 70s. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
$1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Guardians with a 9-4 win over the Texas Rangers today. We'll get you caught up with what happened with NBA free agency today. The OHSAA has put out the 2026 Ohio high school football schedule at a glance. Not teams' schedules, but what the schedule will be like. The summer period, when you can start practice, regular season and playoffs. We'll kind of go over that calendar here in a little bit. The U.S. men's soccer team plays tonight against Bosnia-Herzegovina, 8 o'clock in Santa Clara. I just reposted on X at Sam Bourquin 16. $200 to park. That's right. $200 to park in a couple of the lots near the stadium. Whew. Think about the cost of the tickets just to get in, right? I imagine those are got to be close to $1,000 a piece. So, say you got a group of 2 or 3, you're paying at least $4,000-$5,000. And now they want to hit you for $200 just to park your car. When does it end? You know when it ends? When people quit paying it. Now, right now, this parking lot is empty, except for like a couple of cars. This video was taken about 13, 14 minutes ago. It's on Yahoo Sports. $200 to park. That's insane. We drug J-Dub in from the Q92 studios. Would you pay $200 to park?
No.
This is for the World Cup tonight?
I'd rather Uber.
$200 to go to the soccer game tonight in San Francisco. at the lots that are, close, semi-close to the stadium. You can see there's still a little bit of a walk there. Okay.
Why not just Uber there then?
Well, they're going to gouge you too.
Well, then that's when you look up Lyft.
And they'll do the same. They'll say, well, they're doing it, so.
Well, no, because you can pin them against each other and find the better rate.
But I bet if you pay for the peak time, you know how they.
Yeah. That's why you go out to the bar after the game so you don't get hit with the peak.
But now if you go to a bar after the game that's near the stadium, guess how much you're paying for a drink? $20-$25. Easy.
It's fair.
You good with that?
Paying $200.
Do you work in radio? Are you good with that? You good with that kind of spending?
No, because
on frivolous things.
Cracker Jacks. I just wanted to give you a heads up. Kalshi upgraded.
Upgraded? I just read it off. Is it go a little bit higher now? Are the Cavs at 40% yet, or are we close?
Golden State Warriors have dropped to 33%.
33%.
And the Cleveland Cavaliers are at 39.
39. So it's the market. The market
Sam
is saying
Nostradamus.
That's right. Hey, don't think I'm not going to do a victory lap either.
Sam Stradamus.
I am going to take the biggest victory lap when LeBron decides to come back home again. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to be that guy. We will, Rainsburg. We will make plans for that.
Okay.
I normally don't get into that kind of thing because it's kind of self-serving. I'm kind of not that guy. But I will be that guy because so many people have told me I'm full of you-know-what and have, blasted me for it on social media. So this will be a little get-back karma at everybody who did that. So I will be taking a victory lap.
You've earned that victory lap. You were right.
I think so. I think
you get to tell everybody I told you so.
You know what? I was right. I was right the time before when he came back from Miami. So this will be 2 in a row. This will be 2 in a row. Come on home, LeBron. Make me look good, buddy. I need it. I need all the help I can get. Guardians win today. They got the White Sox coming to town Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right. A couple people have hit me up about, they said, I had you on, I wasn't paying full attention. What's the deal with Giant Eagle? Earlier today, it was announced that Kroger is going to buy Giant Eagle. They're just going to swoop them up and take over. $1.65 billion. Now listen to this breakdown. Kroger is going to purchase Giant Eagle for $1.65 billion, including $1.25 billion in cash and the assumption of about $400 million in outstanding liabilities. How about that? Who's carrying $1.25 billion in cash? Just let me pull that out of my pocket right now. Right. I got a couple of ones, got a couple 20s, 100. Oh, now we're talking. So they're going to take over. Giant Eagle started in 1883 in Cincinnati. Barney Kroger. The grocery chain now has over 2,700 stores. They're in over 35 states. Kroger, I'd say mid-1980s, Kroger's had stores in northern Ohio. Kroger has. But Giant Eagle put up the for sale sign, and Kroger said, we'll take it. Now, I know we have a Giant Eagle here in Alliance. Rainsburg, do you know how long that has been there?
Ooh.
Just a ballpark guess.
I'm going to say that's been there since 70s.
Okay, so about 50 years.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah, if they started in the 1800s, late 1800s, I mean, yeah.
Okay, because I didn't know when Alliance got one.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've only lived here the past 15, 16 years.
Anybody know how long the Alliance has had the Giant Eagle here?
I'll find
in
that
town?
out.
Somebody will know. But we go to the one on Washington Square over by Walsh University. That's where we go. And I know there's one on 30th and Cleveland Avenue. There's one on Tusk. I think there's one in Maslin. But the one here in Alliance, I'm trying to figure out when that one opened up. But a lot of people are like mad because the first thing everybody is saying is, "Oh, there go the prices." And then other people are weighing in. Oh, if you think Giant Eagle was high, wait till you see what the prices are going to be now when Kroger takes over. Now, this deal they're saying is going to close in 2027, so you're not going to see any signage change for a while, I don't think. But yeah.
Okay.
Giant Eagle, let's see.
According to this, which is a fan talking who seems to be obsessed with when places opened, he says that Giant Eagle opened in 1988 and was expanded in 1997.
Okay. All right.
Which
well, that makes
feels
sense.
about right.
That makes sense.
It's actually harder to look up than you would think. Just be like, hey, when did this business open?
Yeah, that
you
should
think
be
that'd
like
be easy,
boom.
but
Right.
it's not.
Giant Eagle, about $9 billion in annual sales. They've got 197 supermarkets, 11 standalone pharmacies across northern Ohio, western PA, West Virginia, Maryland, and Indiana. I did not know Giant Eagle was in West Virginia, Maryland, and Indiana. I had no idea.
I didn't. Are they not a national chain?
I learned that today. Huh. I thought it was just PA and Ohio. I had no idea.
Oh, really? I thought it was. I mean, I didn't think it was all over the country, but
yeah. So there you go.
Way to make just Ohio people mad, really.
I wonder if people will switch. You know, there is going to come a time where it's going to be Kroger and Meijer.
Yeah, Meijer's going to root out Walmart at some point.
Fisher's is going to be completely gone.
I thought Fisher's was already
they're going to be like completely gone. I think they're still doing some.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Some little like alcohol sales for like businesses and stuff like that.
Okay.
Acme, I think the writing's on the wall there. You've been starting to hear that, you know, they might be on the way out. And then now Giant Eagle. So it's going to be Kroger and Meijer. That's going to be it. Now, you still have some of the other places like Food for Less and Aldi's. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a supermarket monopoly with Kroger and Meijer. And I can't think of another like
Marks
chain. Yeah, Marks.
I think Aldi will be okay because Aldi is not owned by any company in America. It's a German company, and they have stores here.
They seem to have. We don't go there, but they seem to have. I know people that do go there. They seem to have a pretty good business model.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean. They've been able to prosper a little bit.
Yeah, no, they own a lot of production companies, so a lot of their products are made by the Aldi company. So they save a lot of money on overhead by not having to buy a lot of things from other suppliers. So that's why a lot of their stuff is so cheap, because they make it themselves in their own factories.
And the fact you have to put a quarter to get a cart, right? Mm-hmm. They still do that?
Yeah, but you get that quarter back.
You get the quarter back. So what's the point of that?
It keeps people from stealing the carts. They're chained together so people can't just walk away with them.
No, I'm saying if you get a cart, right, you put the quarter in, you get the cart.
Right.
You're taking the cart around.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say you're not going to walk out with it?
Well, I mean, then you wasted a quarter.
But you got a cart.
Yeah.
That's cheap.
It's to discourage stealing. It's not a perfect system. I think it's funny how many people think that's so stupid. I don't know why it's dumb.
I just kind of wondered, the first time that I did, because curiosity got me, and I went to the Aldi, I don't even know what location it was, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going in here. I'm going in here and seeing what this is all about. And I was like, well, since I'm here, I might as well buy some stuff. It was just like one of those stupid, random, I'm just going to go look and buy something for no reason. And I park the car, I get out, I go up and I go to get the cart and I'm pulling on it and I'm, what the hell's going on here? And then, God bless her soul, some elderly lady comes up to me. She goes, honey, you need to put a quarter in there to get the cart. And I looked at her and said, what?
People?
What?
Look,
she says, yes, honey, you need to put a quarter in so you can have use of the shopping cart in the store. I said, I had never heard of such a thing in my life. And she smirked at me like, oh, you dummy. And I put the quarter in and I went in. I don't even know what I bought. And then I was also, so I guess you actually bag your own groceries there too.
Yep.
I didn't know that either, which I guess not a big deal because I only had like 3 or 4 things. And then I looked at the cat. I go, what do I do now? She goes, well, you take your groceries over there. Here's a bag. I gotta have to pay for the bag too. And she goes, put your groceries in and go. And you get your quarter back and put the cart and you're all set.
Yep.
Okay. And I hadn't been back since, but I did want to see what that whole thing was about.
Look, Aldi's is great. You go in there, you need to get go in there for 5 things. You take the reusable bag that you buy it once. You
Whoa.
You
So
leave it in your car.
You do have to buy the bag?
If you want to, if you can, they have the paper bags, so they're 5 cents or something.
Okay.
But you can buy a nicer bag that's reusable, that's got handles on it.
Okay.
And that's $1 or $2. They're not expensive. It's a simple, canvas bag. But so you buy that, you leave that in your car. And then anytime you go in, you just take the bag in with you. You throw your 4 or 5 things in the bag. You walk up to the self-checkout. You take them out of the bag. You scan them. You throw them back in the bag. You walk out. You don't need to worry about the cart. You don't got to get mad that it takes a quarter. Look, I hate change as much as the next person. I probably hate change more than anybody on the planet. But putting a quarter in a cart is not that big of a deal to me. I love how people get so angry when they see that.
I wasn't angry. I was just like,
I didn't say you were.
I was just like, what the hell?
But it's so
funny. I didn't
funny.
understand the concept.
I've seen so many people get so irate because they have to put a quarter in to get the cart.
So, okay, so we figured that out if you're going in for just a handful of items. What if you're going in there for the mother load?
And you put a quarter in the cart and be a big boy about it.
But what about the whole, is there room to bag 150, 200, 300 items? Is there room for you to do that?
I'll admit that is the tough part, but they have what are those
in the system.
those Food for Less? They used to have that they have that shelf by the exit where you can go and put all your stuff in the bags. Yeah, they have that. You just can't do it.
That's what I used.
Yeah, you can't do it right at the checkout, which honestly I think is good because if everybody was trying to bag 50, 100 things at the checkout, the self-checkout would be a nightmare.
Now, I say I've got 200, 300 items in the cart. Now, there's somebody there will scan everything for me, right? Or do you have to do that yourself too?
You can go through a line where somebody will scan everything for you.
Okay.
Yes. They have.
I got to draw the line here.
It's just
I got to draw the line. You're taking a quarter from me. Now I got to buy a bag. I got to bag my own stuff, and now I got to scan it too. No.
It's better for the environment. You're not throwing out 50 plastic bags every time you go to the store.
Oh, we don't throw ours out.
No, well, you reuse them. They get thrown out eventually. They don't work forever.
I put my lunch in those bags and I bring them to work.
Then you throw them away.
No, I take them back home and use them again.
Okay. You throw that thing away eventually. There's going to get a hole
eventually,
in it.
Yeah. Eventually. Sam, the Giant Eagle Alliance was once called the Buckeye Village IGA.
Ah, yeah.
I believe they converted to Giant Eagle sometime in the mid to late 90s.
Well, then the IGA just moved down to Union and stayed there for a while.
Yeah, the Buckeye Village. Now, there was also a Kishman's IGA. Now, was that in Minerva?
Ooh, I don't know.
Or Canton South or something? That's popping into my mind right now.
I always forget about IGA. There used to be an IGA on Union, and that was the best.
Interesting. There was also a Buckeye Village Market in Louisville, owned by the same family.
Jim on Facebook said there was a Kroger at the Main and Union in Alliance in the 60s. Thank you, Jim.
Whoa, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
They're coming back. They got rooted out, and now they're coming back.
Coming back. Well, that's it then. You better start getting Piggly Wiggly back here again.
Yeah, I want my IGA back on
Let's
Union.
go.
I hate driving 5 minutes instead of 2 minutes to get groceries.
Now we found something that upsets Rainsburg. It's that extra 3 minutes in the car.
I cannot stand waiting in line. My favorite thing about Aldi's is I can walk in, go through, grab my 3 or 4 things, and then go to the checkout, swipe them real quick, and walk out. I almost never have to wait in any kind of line because they mostly use self-checkout.
How many do they have off?
6.
6?
Wait, 2, 4, 8.
Okay.
I never counted until just now.
All right. That's not bad.
No, and it's fat. I like Aldi's. I'll sit here and defend Aldi's all day.
Sam Kissman's is still in Minerva. Okay. I thought so.
Where are my Aldi's people at? I know more people like Aldi's.
Where's my A&D Foodorama people at? Where are y'all at?
Let's get this war started.
Oh, my God. That's funny. I will take a break. Coming up on 53 minutes past the hour. 330-821-1310 is our number. You can get it on the chat, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, or on all of our Facebook pages and platforms. We welcome you. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Stay with us.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
My name is Erica. My son, Kason, is a patient at Shriners Children. My oldest called me and said Kason got burned. The trauma doctor came in and said he needs to go to Shriners.
His injury was a big injury, and I think a testament to the care that we provide. He's fully functional. He's riding his dirt bike, doing all of the things that you would want him to do.
We're just so thankful that Kason is still here. Go online right now to loveshriners.org.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go? I did it. I got the job. I can't believe it. I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
$1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Sam, my first job was A&D Foodorama, bagging groceries and taking them out to the customers' cars. Well, we don't do that anymore. You know what? I think Acme still does that. Maybe. I think the one over on Whipple and Canton, I think they still take the groceries out to the car for you if you need it. I think. That was like one of the things that they still do.
The world became too dangerous for such leisurely things.
I mean, come on. You know what? I always thought that, if it's an elderly person,
oh yeah,
or somebody looked like they were having trouble getting around, you should you should have people there, like designated take the groceries to the car people. Help them out. They just came, they shopped your store, they spent their money. Help them out. Take the stuff out to their car for them. I always thought that was, but I think Acme still does that. I'm not sure. All right. Hey, we are about to have our second college baseball coach Hall of Famer in Stark County. All right. Paul Hesse already in from the University of Mount Union. And now we get to add Walsh University head coach Tim Mead to the ABCA Hall of Fame.
Tim Mead from Walsh University. Mead is the all-time winningest coach in Walsh University history with nearly 1,000 victories. Under his leadership, the Cavaliers captured the 2022 GMAC tournament title and consecutive GMAC South Division championships in 2025 and 2026. Beyond the field, he has served the coaching profession in prominent leadership roles, including ABCA president, NAIA Baseball Coaches Association president, and received the prestigious NAIA Robert E. Smith Achievement Award in 2017.
Congratulations, Coach Mead from Walsh University heading into the Hall of Fame. That is really, really awesome.
I love this picture I got of him in his Walsh jersey. He looks so iconic.
Good for Coach. I played for Coach Mead.
Yeah, we had him on the show. He was a joy.
No, we have not had him on yet.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm positive.
Oh,
yep.
What?
Nope. Now, I've reached out to him. This afternoon, and I just said, hey, whenever you're ready, whenever you have time, just let me know, and we'll get you right on. My freshman year, I played for Coach at Walsh.
Are you sure he didn't pop on to one of your live streams when you were at one of the high schools or something?
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Man, I'm going crazy.
Yeah, well, you've been hanging around me. See what happens.
You can't remember anything.
Nope.
And I'm remembering things that didn't happen.
See, what's
good.
more dangerous? You remembering things that never happened, or me forgetting things that did?
I think the latter is more dangerous. At least I'm just insane.
Oh my God! But congratulations, Tim Mead, going into the ABCA Hall of Fame. He is entering his 44th year in the Walsh dugout. When I played for Coach, he was still the head soccer coach at Walsh University. He would do them both at the same time. How about that? And they had a great soccer program. He did them both. Shout out Coach Mead. We'll get him on the show here. Okay. I reached out. Hopefully we can get him on here sooner than later. All right. That's really awesome. All right. Thanks to Rainsburg. Great job as always. Thanks to all of you for listening and commenting and calling and tweeting and commenting in our social media platforms. We always love when you interact with us here on the show on 1310 WDPN. And we will do it all over again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Boy, stay cool. Stay hydrated. Try to stay in the AC. Easy on the yard work until it gets a little bit less humid out. We'd love to have you back here tomorrow at 3 on 1310 WDPN. And until then, and as always, go Cavs, go Guards, go Browns, go Bucks. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.